Hey guys, so I wanted to show you my pearls that came in. As I might have told you in my previous streams, I wanted to buy accessories that I felt would really last like the test of time. So I would grow into it. Right now I'm 32. I want to wear it while I'm 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. You get the idea. I don't have anything against imitation pearls at all. Barbara Bush used to wear them. Jackie Kennedy wore them as well. And I think if you're traveling, it's really smart to carry a set. That way, if anyone robs you or takes it, the loss is not that bad. And yeah, so this is a vintage set that came in. This is actually real. The way you can test it is a few ways. So if you're not, if you're open to it, you can rub it against your tooth. If it feels gritty, that means it's real. The other way you can check if it's real is you have to look at the shape of the pearls itself as well as the to see if there's any color variations. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. It might be hard to tell. But if you look really closely, you can see that each pearl is slightly different, right? Do you see like this one's a little different? This one looks a little different. The colors are not all the same. The shapes are not all the same. And the reason why it's not all the same, whoops, wrong one. The reason why it's not all the same is because each one is individually made. So these come from a bunch of pearls. You can't expect standardization when it comes to pearls. They're all going to be a little different. This one has like a little indentation in there. Yeah. So this is not a top quality grade pearl. I really like it. I think it's a great size, but it is not an expensive set. I don't know too much about pearls. I can't tell you what pearl this is exactly. I want to say it's probably a fresh water of some sort, but I'm really happy with it and it works for my purposes. See that one? It has like a defect right here. See it? Yeah. But I can tell that it's real based on the weight as well. The weight of this is pretty heavy. It's if you feel like a strand of real pearls, you'll understand what I'm talking about because it has a heft to it. It's not as light as it looks. Sorry you guys. Oh my goodness. Hold up. This is what happens when you're trying to do this by yourself. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So it actually came from a jeweler. I didn't know this. The person was reselling it because they said it didn't match them. It came from this jeweler specifically. See that? Jefferson Estate Jeweler. So they're actually a jewelry store. Yeah. And I'm really happy with this. It didn't come with a pouch, so I'm probably going to have to buy a pouch or something from it. And yeah, I think this is like the perfect size for me. Probably later I will wear it and you guys can see how it looks. Pearl should also be knotted in between. So if you look in between, you might be able to see a knot. Do you see a knot between each one? See that? Knot, 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 knot. There's a purpose behind it. The purpose is that each pearl does not rub against each other. And if you break the necklace, there is a possibility that this thing breaks. You're supposed to get this restrung, I heard, every 2 years. If this thing breaks, you only lose one or two pearls, right? You're not going to lose the whole string. Yeah, nobody wants to go chasing after pearls. So I really like this. You can see the different color variations over here. I love it. Now, this in comparison, this is actually a fake one. I don't know if this is a real Majorca or not. And I have my suspicions because the person who was selling it, I thought they were just selling one or two. They ended up selling about 5 of them. And as you may assume, most people don't have 5 vintage necklaces of the same type. So this is probably, some mass-produced China one. I don't think it's vintage, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone went and bought, 5 of these. I don't know, but you can tell the difference between this set and this set. Not only, and this is excluding the pearl size. So when you look at this one, you can see everything is standardized. And then they all have like the same flat color on them. Do you see it? Like this one, you can see like some of them have more, I want to say reflection on certain pearls versus this one. It's kind of like all through a line. It's lighter as well. I'm not a big fan of these. The size of the pearls, I don't know what the millimeter is. I don't have like a measurement tool or anything on me. But yeah. Yeah, so you can tell this is fake. It just, you can, yeah, you can just see. So, I don't, like I said, I don't know if this is a real Majorca. Majorca is supposed to be like one of the top imitations for pearls. That's the reason why I purchased this. However, it seems that name could be used loosely. I wouldn't be surprised if people are just selling imitation pearls and saying it's Majorca. Yeah, but the Majorca that they sell, it's for some of them it's like a couple $100s, and I do not want to pay a couple $100s for fake pearls. I'd rather just buy a vintage set like this and, you know, see how it comes out. But yeah, see how the color differentiations versus this. Yeah. So that's that. And then this is my super cheapy set. This one was 23 bucks. This one was 15. And this one, you're gonna laugh at this. This one was $6. Yeah. I only bought it for one reason, and the reason why I bought it was simply for the bracelet. When you look at this, you can tell this is like some cheapy set for sure. But it's real. It is real. It's just like an inferior quality one. When you look at this, like look at the shape of this stuff. You see it? It looks like little pebbles. And I knew what I was getting myself into, but I really wanted a bracelet, and I didn't want to deal with, hey, what if it's too big and then I have to get it adjusted. And yeah, so I just bought this one. See how it goes. You can tell once again when you look at the shape here. I feel like it looks like baby teeth. That's just me. When you look at the shape, you can tell each one is different. See it? They're not all the same shape. This, I don't know what happened to this one. So this is like a low grade pearl. It's a low grade freshwater pearl. And yeah, it's as cheapy as can be. But you know what? It's not a fake one. It's a real one, and it works. It works. I don't know if I'm going to adjust it myself. You can also see that there's no knot in between. That kind of reinforces that this is a cheapy set. If this thing breaks, it's all gonna fall on the ground. Yeah, it's all gonna fall on the ground because it's just strung up. So I hope this thing doesn't break, but it might. Who knows? It probably will. Yeah, and then the clasp as well. Like, come on now. But that's what you get. That's what you get for $6. Yeah. Yeah, it's trash pick pearls. But I figured, let me try and see how they were. So, I will show you guys the difference between this one and this one. And you guys can see it. Hold on, I gotta put them on. It is so freaking hot here. It's ridiculous. Like, I have the AC on and I'm sweating. So I'm gonna wear the fake pearls first, and then you guys can see it, and then I'll wear the real ones. Okay, so here are, okay, hold up a second. I don't know if you guys will be able to see. Okay, hold up. Let me do it this way. Okay, so it is humid here, but you can see how this looks like. So this is the fake one. It's kind of all like one standardized size. Do you see it? That's why I don't. I think like I think the pearls are like too small for me, and that's kind of weird because I'm not. I'm pretty skinny and small framed, but even then it's like really, yeah, it's not working for me. Hold up. Ah, where'd it go? Oh, hold up. Screw in. Okay, so yeah. So this one, I feel like it's a little too small. It should be a little bigger. And these are my, you know, the earrings that I was repairing on the other stream. I had to actually plier it out, and I was using vinegar and water. See that? Yeah. So overall, I think this is too small. I'm sure I can make it work somehow, but yeah. I'm gonna move on to these, and you will see how it looks. It is really humid today. Really, really humid today. Okay. So these are the other ones here. See? So these are the real ones. You can see that these are much bigger than these ones. And I feel like because it's like different, slightly different, it looks better. Yeah, it looks better. Oh, bikini. No, this isn't a bikini haul channel. Yeah, but this was $23. Yeah, it was $23. So I feel like I got a really good price on it, and I know that it came from a jewelry store because I have the box right here. See that? I wanted to see if they were still selling pearls, Jefferson Estate Jewelers, but it looks like they don't. They only sell diamonds online, and they kind of have a crappy website, if you ask me. So, yeah. I like it a lot. I think this set in particular, I can really see myself wearing it throughout the years. I think that it's gonna be able to grow with me, which was my intention of buying a necklace. I really feel like I got lucky too because this is like I think it's like the perfect size. It's not too small. This one was too small, I think. It's not too big, and I think it's a really nice balance. So yeah, I like it a lot. Um, I don't know. Maybe it didn't. Maybe they said that they had this. They got this as a gift, and they just didn't like it. Like it didn't work out with them. So yeah, I think it's the original box. Even if it's not the original box, I'm still really happy with it. Yeah. So but I could kind of gauge it when I looked at it. The problem with like a lot of these pearls is you have some people saying that some people will say like, oh, it's real, right? Or they heard that it was real. But when you look really closely, like some of the listings that I saw, people said it was real, and I looked at it and it like has like little chips on it. So that indicates to me that it's not a real pearl. So, yeah. And then just for kicks, I think this looks like the Hawaii puka shell necklace. If you guys are familiar with that, like the it's PUKA puka shell. I'm gonna wear this for fun, but I think it's gonna make me look like a 6-year-old. We'll see. Them in a few months if you wear them regularly. No, I think the pearls should last like a really long time. It's just the restringing thing. But I'm planning to restring it myself. I really hope that I can restring it. I heard it's you can do it online, but it's gonna be something. You wear that, you're gonna get catcalled even more. No, no, you have to actually like how do I say this? You're supposed to like clean it every time, like rub it down with a cloth. But it's not good that I'm sweating right now and wearing it. But I feel like, hey, it's part of it's natural. Yeah. So we'll see how this turns out. Yeah. So this one I rubbed it against my teeth. It was smooth. You guys can tell too. Like look how uniform that is. You see it? I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is so freaking uniform. It's a little unnerving. I can't tell you if this is a real Majorca or not. I really can't. Focus. 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 Yeah, I can't tell you if it's a real Majorca or not, but this is a little too unsettling. See, if you compare it with this and this, right? You can kind of see like this looks really flat in color versus this one. At least that's what I think. I think that if like people would right away know that this is a fake. That's just unless yeah, I think this kind of screams out like this is a fake, and I hope this is not really a Majorca, because if it is, but they do make really good imitation pearls from what I heard. Aw, thank you. Yeah. I've heard that the imitation ones, they coat it in a lot. Sometimes it has like something like 32 coatings. Yeah, the cheap pearls, like the imitation ones, don't last for sure. Like the coating will eventually wear out. Who wears? No, this is actually one. This is one necklace, but I just doubled it. I just doubled it. I just doubled it. It was really long. I think it's like 19, 18 or 19 inches. So let me go on this one. I think this, I don't even know if this is going to be really small, but I have a feeling you guys are just going to look at this and be like, oh, this looks terrible. Okay, so I have the cheapy white fresh pearl necklace on. Ah! You know what? I don't think this, I actually don't think this looks too bad. I think I could wear this casually, very, very casually. Very, very casually. Yeah, just out and about. But yeah, this definitely doesn't look real at all. um, Yeah, so this was part of the $6 set over here. You can tell this is definitely not that expensive looking because it wasn't. I just wanted it for the bracelet. That was it. So I have one, two, three, and yeah. Let's see here. So Greg, what happens with cheap pearls? Like, why don't they last very long, even if they are real? I'm just curious. Put on the bracelet. Okay, so there. Yeah. I think it's a cheapy set, but you know what? I don't mind the cheapy set at all. The coating is too thin. Really? Wow. I don't have long time experience with pearls, so I can't shake my wrists. Okay. What am I waiting for? It's not rattling. Either that or my wrist is it's not rattling at all. Oh wait. Yeah, I'm still not hearing any rattle. No, they don't rattle. They don't rattle. This is not. See, it doesn't rattle. Maybe you guys have rattling pearls, but this one, no. Yeah, you're supposed to take care of them. That's what I heard. But you would only see a small plastic ball if it's if it is fake, right? I mean, if they're real, they would be made out of a bunch of clothing. What do you mean, the elastic on the side? I'm not. The mask you're wearing may have been slippy because the elastic on the side is wearing out. What elastic on the side? I don't get it. What elastic on the side? Huh? Oh, yeah, you know what? I've only worn that about 6 times or so. So, yeah. Wow. Shaking her pearl bracelet. Let's see if these one. Okay, something like this I think could rattle. But not really. Yeah, this is like the most quietest rattle ever. I don't know if I really want to shake it too, because that means all the pearls will be hitting against each other. Yeah. So I'm trying to be a little bit more classy into my 32nd year, see how that works, and yeah. I'm really happy with my purchases overall. I really like the idea of all pearl samples. Yeah, I really like the idea that hopefully that this lasts me a very long time. We'll see. But if it starts wearing down or I have some issues, I will definitely remember what you said, Greg. We'll see how long this lasts. But I'm not planning to obviously wear them every day. I have to like look on how to take care of these things a little bit more. They say that you're supposed to wipe it down, make sure you don't wear it when it's wet. What else do they say? Oh, keep it in a pouch. Keep it in a pouch and don't let it bang each other, because of it, you can encourage scratches. Don't put in plastic bags. If you put in plastic bags, then it can't breathe, and sometimes they say like the chemicals inside of the bag can damage jewelry as well. So I'm gonna let this breathe as best I can, and yeah. Oh, and I forgot to say, this one, you can tell it's a cheap because it has a lobster claw clasp. Do you see it? Yep. You can see the difference between this clasp and this one. I kind of question this one because I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's super freaking flimsy. It's supposed to be a 14 carat clasp, and it's so freaking thin. I honestly thought this was one of those ones purchased on Amazon, and they just, one of those ones purchased on Amazon, and then they just resell it on there like it was a buyer's remorse thing. See it? Yeah, so actually, yeah, let me put it in a little bit more. But yeah, it's supposed to, like, this is the kind of class that I'm usually familiar with seeing. Not definitely not this cheapy thing. So if you buy a fake, I would highly encourage, do not, or if you're looking for like any pearl jewelry, whether it be real or fake, and you're kind of unsure about if it is possibly real, just know, like, this lobster claw, probably 100% it's not real, but, or it's very cheap quality. This is real, but it's very cheapy quality. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. See you, Tarman. Yeah, I think this is real, but it's definitely the trash pile. You can see it's like, it's all different. Oh, focus. It's all different, but it's it's like one of those really cheapy Chinese ones. See it? But I wanted to feel and see the difference between this one and this one and this one. Yeah. And I feel like I have a really good learning experience. The weight difference is really there. Um, this one has like a nice heft to it. It feels nice and cool. This one just feels kind of dead. That's the best way I can describe it. It just feels dead. Oh, yeah. The dryer belt actually came in. Yeah, they came in. It came in, but I haven't gotten around to doing the repair yet. I've just been enjoying my really humid day. Believe it or not, I actually had the AC on. You guys can't tell because I'm just sweating. I'm sweating, and it's just like, sometimes it gets really humid here. I don't know why. All the windows are closed. AC is on. I worked on the insulation. And this AC has been running for the last couple hours at least. You guys, yeah. For me, I think I'm not gonna, like, I don't know about pearl grades very well. I would just look at something and I say, hey, if this looks pretty nice, I'll get it. And I don't really want to spend too much money on pearls, just because I don't want to risk, like, if I lose it or if someone takes it or steals it and think, oh my gosh, it's so pricey and things like that. They say that you can tell what a real pearl is if you put it against your cheek and it's cold. And this one definitely feels like cold. This one feels like, yeah, plastic. And this one, this is kind of cool actually. Yeah. As bubbly as you know what? I mean, like, I like it because I want to make more of an effort to actually look a bit classier in my 30s. I don't want to be chasing trends. You know, some people how they, whoops. You know how some people they always think like, oh, let me buy like the newest fashion jewelry and stuff. I don't want to be that person. I want to have something where I have a piece, and if I maintain it, hopefully it lasts like a really, really long time. And I'm rehoming it too. So someone had this, they said it didn't match them, but they thought it was beautiful, so they sold it. I purchased it. They had like $23 in their bank account because of it. Actually, less than that because you have to factor in shipping and fees, right? But yeah, and I plan to, cherish them for quite some time. And I'm really happy about it. See ya. So that's why I'm so bubbly about them, because I've been looking at a lot of this like pearl forum stuff, and I see people like sharing their knowledge about it, and they talk about, some people are really crazy. They carry these like magnifying glass, these like jewelers lopes of sorts, and they will actually look at this stuff. So if they see like a strand that they're not too sure if it's authentic or not, they'll grab out that jeweler's lope, with them, and they'll like closely look at this stuff, like at the drill hole and stuff. I'm like, wow, like these people are really serious. And I was telling Lewis about that. I said, man, maybe I want to make that into my like new hobby, like looking at vintage pearls and kind of like loping it. But I'm just, I am a complete amateur here. I just think they're pretty and I like them. I also think that, when you think about pearls, they're formed in the inside. So something beautiful came from the inside, and I think it's a loop, yeah, a loop. Um, and I think it's a really nice touch. Yeah, I think that also pearls are a lot more ecological friendly or eco-friendly than mining for gems. Um, when you look at like the diamond industry and you look at how they go after these gems, like they have like, yeah, it's not good. And then they have the conflict stuff too. You've heard about blood diamonds, and I don't want to I don't want to associate with that. I've seen those horrific images of children in Africa, and they had their arms cut off. Yeah, it's not something I want to contribute to at all. And I think diamonds are kind of overrated. I like the look of it. Don't get me wrong, but I just think like everybody has that. That's like, yeah, and I don't want to be one of those people who are just like chasing after those kind of things. Soup. Oh, it's a soup. Oh, it's prevented like soup. Yeah. Professional thrift store shopping is a hot person. When I was in Hawaii, I remember that the person who lived next door to me in the next building over, they used to always go to thrift stores and they would tell me about their finds. They said that they went to a Goodwill and they bought this like Japanese statue and they were able to sell it for like $200 on eBay. And I was so surprised that, and this guy has so much knowledge in his head. He was a true collector. He was really passionate about the sorts. Pearls are not. I think. Well, oysters are okay. So pearls are not eco-friendly. They're less They're much better for the environment than mining for sure. Though that's my thinking of it. And I think I've read that when they have oysters in the water, it's supposed to make the water better. Yeah, diamonds are not rare. De Beers has like a monopoly on it, and then they only release like a certain amount, and then you're you're you believe that things are rare because you only see like like they're expensive too. I've known people who have like $10,000 engagement rings, more than that, tens of $1,000 engagement rings or wedding rings, and yeah, I don't understand the point of it. I mean, I'm not gonna knock people who have expensive engagement rings or wedding rings, but for me, I think it'd be so much more. It's so much anxiety. I mean, like these people who I know have these like really expensive rings. It's not like they're raking in the dough at all. There was this one person I remember. They were in they were in graduate school, and their fiance, well, their fiance, now wife, they were really high maintenance, and he took out a loan so he could get this expensive engagement ring for her. And I was just thinking, like, really, you're gonna put yourself in debt just to get a ring? Like, yeah, but I think it's a lot more common than I think I think it's pretty common out there. They said something like, I think there was a marketing strategy, like you should save like, what was it, like 3 months salary to buy a ring, something like that, like go into debt for that. It's like, I don't think, when I think about like expensive engagement rings, expensive wedding rings, I kind of question it, because it's putting a relationship like a marriage or something like that off on the wrong foot, because you would instantly go into debt, right, over a ring. And if you try to resell the ring, you're not going to get the value that you paid at a jewelry store. There's going to be a huge depreciation cost, and It's just okay. You have a ring, it's brand new, it's sparkly, and then when you wear it once or you buy from a jewelry store, boom, it turns into a used ring. Just like a car. So, I don't see the point of buying new jewelry. Yeah, I was looking at that actually. That De Beers marketing campaign slogan. It really ties in like emotions with like how much do you value a woman and things like that. Jewelry itself, I mean, like jewelry. What was that? I don't know what that was. Jewelry itself can be eco-friendly in my opinion, especially if you buy it secondhand. So for me, for the pieces that I buy, it would all be vintage. It would all be pre-owned. So the person who bought it would be taking the depreciation cost, and for me, I'd be like the second owner, or maybe even the third owner or more. I don't. I think like if I'm not purchasing it, then it would just be sitting in the closet, being unused. And what better way to like honor a piece of jewelry or really cherish it than wearing it myself? Yeah. So yeah, I think wedding rings are kind of, how would I say it? Like most people who I know who are married, they don't wear their wedding rings. They don't. And I've shared it in my previous stream. I remember in Hawaii, I would see a few posts. People were lost their wedding rings. They lost their engagement ring. There was this one person who lost like I think like a $13,000 ring. They went to a birthday party at a restaurant and then they were washed their hands. So they took off the ring, put it on top of a soap counter, the soap dish, the dispenser. And after they did that, they forgot to put their ring back on. They came back, it was gone. None of the wait staff turned it in. Who knows who went to the restroom? But someone pocketed a very expensive ring. And yeah, it's painful to think about, right? Because most people, they don't want to cover a $13,000 ring just like. And even if you buy something at that price, it's probably not gonna be the same exact ring, the same exact style, unless you go to a jeweler and you say, okay, my ring looked exactly like this. Yeah. So yeah, a plain band is a lot more practical because it will last the test of time. If you lose it, or you can easily replace it. Stones are just, I think, especially in this day and age, wearing an expensive stone, it just puts you at it just targets you for theft. So for me, if I'm walking out, you will not see me on the street with these things. Not my fake one, not my not my real one. I probably will just go to dinner with this if I'm with Lewis. Definitely not alone. I don't want to get targeted at all. And I think it's kind of sad. I shared in my previous stream in Hawaii. When I was growing up, I used to see women wear all this Hawaiian jewelry. So they would be like gold bangles. Like you would see women wear like 4 bangles, like these thick gold bangles, and it would have all this like it would have their names on it or some Hawaiian words on it. And I thought it was so beautiful. And as I got older, I see less and less of that. I see less and less of that, and it makes me think it's really a side of the times. It really is. Um, when you have a piece of jewelry, if you're not wearing it outdoors, then it's you have to think about this. It kind of like does a disservice because then you have to mindfully think, okay, is it safe for me to wear this piece that I find beautiful out on the street? For me, I don't want to have that responsibility on my mind. Like, what if someone approaches me for this? What if um, what if I lose it on the street? Then I have to find it. Yeah, it's just so I will not be riding the Bafang with like any earrings or anything like that. I think that there's a good chance because I do wear clip-on earrings. If we're going at high speeds or going over a speed bump, it's just gonna fall out. Yeah, so I don't want to do that. Never go to Venezuela. Why do you not want to go to Venezuela with a ring on your finger? I'm just curious. People say that if you go traveling, you should not bring your expensive jewelry with you. You should bring fake jewelry, like fake ring, fake jewel necklace, that kind of stuff. And I completely agree with that. Like, keep the real stuff at home. Don't bring it outside. How is it in New York City danger wise? Let's put it this way. Oh, you won't have 10 fingers. Okay. Let's put it this way. When I go out on the street, I do not see people wear designer stuff. I do not see people wear expensive jewels. Like, I don't notice it, at least. Especially even in Manhattan, I don't see any people like flashy stuff. Um, so, and I think that, you know, people care about their safety first and foremost. It's not a bad thing to want to look nice at all. I think, you know, people should wear what they want to wear, and if they feel beautiful wearing a certain piece, then, you know, by all means they should. But in this day and age, you don't want to put yourself in a position of getting targeted for theft. Even if, you know, even if it's like a $20 necklace, right? It's not worth it. And I don't want to have someone confront me or want to rob me because of something that I'm wearing. And if I find it beautiful, then someone else thinks, hey, that's beautiful too. You know, I want to just use the 5-finger discount. Yeah. Today is the day to be sipping rum tied by the beach. What? Yeah, there's no beach around here, unfortunately. I don't want to have my own buffet. I've said it previously. When I was driving, when I was getting my driver's license, I got T-boned in the car that I was in, so the airbags went off, and the guy was running a red light. So I had the green light, and I had my driving instructor right next to me. They had an emergency brake. I had green. I went through the intersection. I was about 3/4 through. From the corner of my eye, this guy runs the red, T-bones the car I was in, and the car, you know, just like veered. It spun. It was a really busy intersection. I think it was about 3:30 p.m. on a weekday, and nobody stopped. We had no dash cam or anything. He claims I read the red light, which is impossible because I had a driver instructor right next to me with the e-brake. And it was really an experience that profoundly made me think, hey, I do not want to be on a bike. I don't want to drive a bike and end up getting, you know, hit by a car. I trust Lewis's driving skills more than my own. I have pretty slow reflexes. If I can't see a guy speeding, going through an intersection, then I know that if I was on a bike, I would have gone flying, for sure. I'm way safer on my own bike. I also don't want to have the bike break in the middle of the street or something. Yeah. Cars don't break like that, right? Sometimes when I'm riding with Lewis, like the chain will pop off and he has to go off on the side. I don't feel comfortable with if I have a bike chain, it just like randomly pops off. And it happens more often than it happens maybe about once every 4 rides or so. You know, the chain will just randomly pop off, and you know he has to put it back into place. I don't know if it's because he's driving so fast. I don't know if it's because the chain is too long. I don't know anything about bike repair or how to you know, bike maintenance in a sense. But get a car and let's see. I remember when Brazil was doing the World Cup in their interview. Wow, really? There was I wonder if that's on YouTube. Some woman tried to steal her necklace while she was on camera. That's so brazen. That really is brazen. I have to see that on YouTube. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, he's very hard on his bike. He always likes like the need for speed. Like, I kind of wonder if he had a car, like a car that could go really fast. I wonder if how he would drive. Would he want to be like Too Fast, Too Furious kind of driving? I don't know. You can't really drive like that though in New York. You can't, because there's so much traffic. If you try to just room out, then you would have like stop, 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 stop. You would have to go in like some remote area. But I remember when there was the shutdown going on, and there was like the streets were kind of empty. There was some people who were probably in like their 20s or so. They had these like they didn't have like the Fast and Furious cars. They had like the much cheaper versions of the cars. I can't remember what it was, but I want to say it was a Toyota or something. And I remember they were in front of Times Square, and they had the two cars side by side, and they had like a girl go out the car, and I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so they took out like a picture and everything, and I was like, okay, so this is like the Fast and Furious, but you don't have, the expensive fast cars or anything like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Lewis was telling me, he said he doesn't understand why people like speeding in a car, and I shared with him back when I was younger. I used to hang out with some people who were speeding and drifting their cars and things like that. It's really exciting. It's really exciting. But that part of my life is behind me. But it was interesting to have the vroom and the sharp turns and things like that. And, yeah, but that was when I was like a teenager. Okay, so this was like really long time ago. Don't think that this was like happened like 4 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and in Hawaii there's like a mountain side or so. I think it's called Tantalus. So you see a lot of people doing that kind of stuff, riding up Tantalus. Vroom, 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 vroom. No, not when I was 29. No, no, no. Yeah, back when I was a spring chicken, right? No, no. Yeah, it's exciting until you have an accident. Yeah, so, but that part of my life was very short. Yeah. Yeah, talking about cars, I remember when I was in Hawaii, I think I might have shared this with you guys. There was some people, like, I never understood this. I never understood why some guys buy expensive cars thinking, hey, if they can't get a chick, buy an expensive car, try to buy an expensive car, and then maybe a chick will come. Now, I'm not talking any Lambo or thing like that. I'm talking about, like, $50,000 cars, and people will go into debt trying to buy this car. And I forgot what the car was. I really can't remember. Like, I know some car guys would know what it was, but it slips my mind. But it was like a $50,000 or $60,000 car. This guy brought it brand new. He wasn't having the best time scoring a chick, right? So he buys this car brand new, and he tries to pick up chicks with the car. And I just kind of think to myself, okay, if it's not like a luxury car, and if it's not, no, it was not a luxury car. It was like a common brand, but it was like the higher model, but it wasn't like BMW, Mercedes, things like Lexus. It wasn't that. What makes you think you can get a chick? Well, what makes you think you can get a chick if the chick can't even recognize the car? Like, if it's something like a Lambo, for sure, women would flock down. And I thought it was kind of funny. Like, sometimes if you see people with like Lambos, they would kind of like drive slowly, or they would kind of, or like expensive cars, they would roll the back down and things like that, or have it like convertible. And I was like, yeah. But I've seen a few Lambos around. It's nice to look at. I've never sat in one, so I can't tell you how the speed is or anything like that. But yeah, they're nice cars. Yeah, I think Oreo should get a Lambo, but Oreo's not gonna get a Lambo anytime soon. He's not that big of an influencer. He can't be like Lambo Cat or something like that. Oh, Mazda Miatas, those are cute cars. I like them. I knew a person who had a 350Z, and I asked them, why'd you get a 350Z? And they said, oh, it's because it's a two-seater, so if anybody asks them for a ride, like apart from a chick, then they didn't have to give their friend a ride. And I was like, oh gosh. Can you imagine that? Like if your friends or like a bunch of your friends want to ride and you go to a club or something and they're like, oh sorry, I only have like one seat for like a chicken. That's it. Yeah. Trader Joe trips in a Lambo will be tricky. Small trunk. I don't know how big a Lambo trunk is at all. I have no idea. But I imagine like people who go to Trader Joe's in a Lambo. I don't know. I've never seen. Okay, I can't even tell you if I've ever seen a Lambo going to a Trader Joe's because I don't see the part where a Lambo would park a car. At least not in the Trader Joe's in New York. If he was to hit a chick with a glancing blow and she was to crease a cranium like her, the loss of function could improve his chances. What do you mean? How would it improve his chances? Let's see. People who drive Lambos not go grocery shopping. You know what? There should be a person. I really want to see if there's like a YouTuber and I'm sure they have it. Like I drove my Lambo going to 7-Eleven or something, right? Or driving my Lambo to Payless, but Payless isn't around. I think that would be kind of. I've seen videos where they say something like driving my niece or something to school in a Lambo, and those videos actually get hits. Like just driving down, and then you have all these people like looking at the Lambo, like just kind of like surprised by it. Let's see here. Driving my Lambo. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've seen a YouTuber who has that video yet. Yeah, they have like a. They have Lambo rentals and things like that, but you need to have a driver's license. Unfortunately, Oreo Cat does not have his driver's license. Yeah, so it's unless it's parked and he just sits there, but still. Let's see here. Yeah, some people who if they have expensive cars, they want to distance themselves from like the peasant cars. You know what I'm saying? I call them peasant cars. Because if you have a Lambo, you'd be like, well, I don't want to be next to a car with dents. It might scratch my car. And that's why you see some of these like douchebags who drive who have a car and they take up 2 parking stalls. Yeah, I think it's terrible. Like they take up 2 parking stalls just to make sure that they could protect their car. It's just going to encourage people to scratch it. Rent Lambo. No. Rent Lambo is expensive. Are you kidding me? It's so pricey. I don't even know how much it costs to rent a Lambo, but I imagine it's like thousands of dollars. Yeah. Yeah, did you guys ever hear about that one movie actor? He was, the guy who said something, I forgot his name, but he was that guy with Tom Hanks on that boat, and he said something like, I am the captain now. Oh, I can't remember his name. I think it was like something Bark something. I can't remember, but people thought he was loaded because he was in that movie with Tom Hanks, and he got so much recognition from that line. And when it was award season, people would see him in these expensive cars, and it turns out they were all rentals. Yeah. So I kind of surprised, like you have a person who's in a big movie and they get all this recognition, but they don't have that much money for being an actor. Because we're so used to thinking, hey, if you're in a movie, you must be like super loaded. Oh my goodness. I don't see the real point of people renting sports cars. I don't. Unless you're a celebrity or you need it for image sake, like if you're going to an award show. no point to it. I don't think there's a point to it. I mean, they're not. Though, I mean, renting those cars aren't cheap either. And most people who rent it, they would just speed, right? They would just speed, and then they would, um, for what, like 24 hours or something, pick up shallow chicks. I guess, yeah. Oh, I've seen the gold digger. Have you seen the gold digger pranks where these guys are, they're in front of like a car, or they try to pick up a chick, and then they either go into a Lambo, or then and then the chick's like, oh wait, we can go ahead and grab dinner or something, or we can grab drinks. Like, I'm down for it. And the guy's like, oh well, I asked you earlier, and I'm not interested in you because I don't like gold diggers or something like that. Yeah. I used to laugh at those. I used to watch those videos a lot, and I know there would be some people who are like, oh my gosh, that's so terrible. But I think it does ring true. You know, sometimes when you have like a guy who has like a car, and then women would say like, hey, this guy, he must be going places if he has a Lambo or something. Yeah, I get it, but it's like it's so gold diggerish. I don't know what a unimog is. I have no idea. Only reason to rent the sports cars if you're actually using on an actual track means. No, Nathan. There are people who just rent a sports car just for shits and giggles, or if they're curious about it. But you wouldn't rent an expensive sports car and just go to Costco to pick up your groceries. Although I do think that there should I think it would be interesting if Universal Motor. Oh, what? I'm kind of curious to see how that looks. Hello. Okay, let me check this Unimog thing because I'm curious now. I'm very curious. You guys are talking about these Unimog stuff, so I want to say it. Oh, jeez. That looks awesome. That looks awesome. I like how it looks. It's kind of boxy, but it's cute at the same time. Yeah, I think the boxy Mercedes are quite cute. Like, I like the G wagon. I think those are cool. But there would be no need to get such a big car. No need. What would you carry in there? Trader Joe's haul? That's it. And okay, let me check this out. Oh my gosh. I don't think that's legal to drive that bandwagon thing on the street. Let's see. That would look perfect. Oh my gosh. What what do people even do with that thing? Like, what do you do with it? There must be something I'm missing here. You ride in the snow? All-terrain. Oh, I see. Oh, it's an all-terrain vehicle. Yeah, you don't need that in New York. You don't. You could car camp instead of rent. You know, I don't think that. Well, where would you car camp to? You don't have that much. That would be like RC. That would be like a RC van, right? Camper van. Yeah, I don't think so. And plus, even if you car camp or you get an RC van, what, you're gonna store 3 cats there too? They're gonna drive themselves crazy. Crazy. You can drive away from society. Well, you could, but you have to also have to think about toilets and showers and things like that. All terrain is useful for it. No, the traffic in New York is not that great, so you would have to, yeah, that would not be good. That would not be good. That would not be good at all. Let me see. You guys really know your cars. Wow, there's like a Unimall camper. Holy crap. Holy crap. That's like a car you would not lose on the street. Priscilla? What is that? Let me see. Oh gosh. I'm like looking at this stuff. I'm like, oh. What? No, I haven't. I haven't seen that film ever. I have not seen that film. 1994 Australian comedy drama. Yeah, I haven't seen that. Yeah, the houses that we've seen in New York, I feel like it's. I feel like it's like some of them, they're really like grossly overpriced for sure, and other ones I think it's like blatantly. I just. And some of these houses are like really far away, like 1.5 hours commute. You guys don't see it because you guys don't see our commute over there, but these some of these houses are like really far away, and we have to factor in when it snows, if it rains, right? Do you really want to go like 1.5 one way just to go home and then 1.5 back? Yeah. Oh, we've been looking at like properties around, and especially around Brooklyn where we live. Oh my gosh, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. It's really expensive. I think that renting is, for a lot of people, it makes a lot more sense than buying. Like even if you can get like pre-approved for a loan and everything like that, it's just, yeah, it's just crazy because you factor in property tax as well. Property tax is like super up there. Like $20,000 for Malvern. Tour half a house. I don't like half a house. Like I've said the reason why. Like if your roof breaks, what, you're gonna split the cost with your neighbor? What if your neighbor doesn't want to pay for it? What if your neighbor is like, no, I don't want to redo the roof, and you have to work out with them how exactly you're gonna redo the roof. It's kind of. Oh yeah, I've seen van life. I've seen van life videos, and I think it really works for people who live like 1 or 2 people. But if you have 3 cats, it's not realistic because although Oreo and Blackberry and Clinton look like they kind of just lounge around. They just, yeah, they're not gonna get want cramped. They're not gonna want to be cramped in a van, and those vans, a lot of them don't have showers. Yeah, but you would save a lot of money if you do a van life, or if you do a camper van for sure. Dig a hole under the basement shop and live there. Maple. Ah, yeah, I don't know. It's like an ongoing process to find a place, but it's just, yeah, the price of New York real estate, it's just crazy. It's crazy. Um, I've also heard that there are people who live in New York City, and they're moving out of New York City, and they're trying to go in like far away areas. So there was this one place that's really popular. It's called the Catskills, Catskills. People like going to it. It's like 127 miles away, you guys. Yeah, but it's a very remote area. You can live in a cabin. You have a lake. The Yeah, but driving 127 miles each way is not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out for sure. You could get a little okay, imagine all the headache though. Even if you, like I was saying in the video, like 659,000 is affordable for this area for sure, but it's uninhabitable. You need to tear it down. You're gonna have to get an architect or a construction person. You're gonna have to build it basically from the ground up, do the plumbing, right? Because there was extensive water damage, build walls, and after you factor in all that stuff, it's probably gonna be like $900,000 or more. New York labor is not cheap, and yeah, even for like Lewis's store, just doing the storefront, they wanted like, some of them wanted like $60,000, and that didn't include materials at all. So if you want $60,000 for a store, imagine how expensive it's going to be for a house. It's crazy. It's crazy. New York does not allow people to have like tiny houses. Doesn't, from what I've been hearing. If you have property, maybe they'll allow it, but I'm not too sure. Yeah. But in terms of like having a house on wheels, I don't think they allow it at all. And then, yeah, the only bad thing about that, Greg, is those houses, I mean, those apartments, you have homeowners association fee. And those homeowners association fees, even if they seem cheap right now, let's say they're like $400, they're just gonna go up there in over the years. So, for instance, the apartment that I live in Hawaii, the maintenance used to be like 300 something back in like 97. Right now, the maintenance is $800, and they say they want to redo the pipes in my apartment building. If they do that, it's gonna cost $1,000. They project it's gonna cost residents $1,000 a month. Yeah, $1,000 for homeowners association fee for a building that's in the 60s. It's just not worth it. Homeowners association fees just go up over the years. And then if the association fee is so expensive, people are not going to want to rent the building, and they aren't going to want to rent there. That's why I think Malvern, it it's an attractive neighborhood, don't get me wrong, but the property tax is so killer. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. So, living in an apartment building, it wasn't the best experience. You always wonder, why are the costs going up? Is there mismanagement of the funds? And all I'm going to say is, like, in my building, there was a lot of concerns about people who were on the board that had their own business. Yeah. And those businesses had the contracts. So it's a conflict of interest. And then if people don't want to go on the board, then they just rotate the board members over and over and over. And yeah, it's kind of cliquish. It's kind of cliquish. So I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, if nobody wants to go on the board, there's always a possibility that you're going to have a person who wants to financially gain from homeowners fees. Yeah, Malvern is the second safest place in New York. It's a very safe neighborhood. It's very well maintained. It's quiet. But is it really worth $20,000 a year for property tax? Lewis right now he pays $24,000 a year to rent this apartment. Yeah, $2,000 a month, and he doesn't have to deal with the commute. Yeah, that's the killer. That's the killer. That's why Malvern is so. You don't like the people who live in Malvern. They there's so much. There's like its own private police or something like that. Yeah. There's no graffiti over there at all. There's no litter. I noticed that. It's not like over here. You walk down the street, you'll see some graffiti, you'll see litter, you'll see dumping. But the good thing about living in like this neighborhood is you have all these stores. So you have all these little bodegas. If you want to go grocery shopping, it's only like 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. There's so many places you can buy food from. In some place like Malvern, you need a car. You need a car, you need a bike. And that's something that I'm not really used to. I live in Hawaii. Where I live in Hawaii, I can just walk to the grocery store, buy groceries, and then walk back home. So, yeah. But something like Malvern, you're looking at maybe like a 3.4 mile walk to the nearest grocery store. Are there any gated communities in New York? I'm sure there are. And I'm sure they're really expensive. Really, really expensive. Yeah. Really expensive. You figure if you have these like places that are dilapidated going for like $600,000 and you have to raise it, or $800,000, right? How expensive a gated community going to be? Imagine how much like the homeowners association fee for a gated community is going to be on top of the property tax. Just killer. Yeah. So. Well, Greg, why don't you like Malvern? Is it because of the property tax that you don't like? I think the little thing that was kind of unsettling to me about that community is everything is so freaking perfect. Like, you need to be on top of your yard. Like, this stuff looks like Instagram perfect. Yards are perfectly maintained. There's no, dying plant anywhere to be seen. Everything looks like perfectly staged. It's picturesque. It's picturesque. Yeah, gated communities are expensive. Now, I was looking on some Florida places because one person linked like some Florida properties. Holy crap! If you look at some of these Florida properties, for the price of a total hole in New York, you can like live in a villa. Okay, let me see if I can like pull it up. Like, it's insane. It is insane. Let me see. Let me check. Where did I do it? Florida. I think I wrote. Okay, here we go. Okay, look at this. Look at that. That's one place in Florida in a gated community, and it's like $700,000. Compare that to New York. Compare that in New York. Like, New York gets you a hole in the wall. Let me pull up another picture of it. So here, you guys can see it over here. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, my screen is... Okay, so you see it over there? Crap. Look how much space you have. This is a gated community in Florida. Look, you have your own big pool. That's your pool. It just goes on and on and on and on. And that's $775,000 in Florida. And in New York, you get a dilapidated set for $689. Oh. Yeah. Oh, you guys are familiar with it? It's the Whitehall community. Yeah, so $775,000, 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 3,863 square foot. It just blew my mind that something that big could only be that price, because I live in Hawaii, right? Hawaii real estate is insane. You look at New York, it's more insane than Hawaii. So seeing something like this, I was just like, wow, I didn't know properties could be, that big, that expensive, and be at that price. Oh, hold on. Let me pull up the link for you guys. One moment. Let me go to my live stream. Kind of strange to see me on screen while I'm typing. Okay, here we go. I don't know what the taxes are. There it is. I don't know if it's still available. It's like 52 days. But I saw it floating around, and I just oh. So imagine how affordable a regular house would be if that's $775,000. We saw some houses that were like $80,000 or $60,000 in Florida. It just... You can't buy any property for $80,000 in Hawaii. Maybe a garage, but that's about it. Let's see. Does it say what homeowners association fee is? Oh, homeowners association fee is $158 a month. And you get 3 parking spaces. It's so big. I can't believe homeowners association fee is so cheap. But what's the property tax? Do I see the property tax here? Property tax. Property tax. Property tax is $12,000 a year. Yeah, $12,439. So it's way bigger than Malvern. It's cheaper than Malvern. But you got a homeowners association fee. Yeah. Oh, are you talking about this one? Because this one's like... I like this one, even though it's like the cheapy one. But this one is prettier. Wilderness. No, no mosquitoes. No mosquitoes. I don't want to deal with mosquitoes. In Hawaii, I got bit up by mosquitoes like crazy. Like, mosquitoes would go after me. The only time I felt safe around mosquitoes is when I was dating one of my exes, and the mosquitoes liked him way more than it liked me. Gators. I've never seen a gator in my life. I've never seen like an alligator. So, yeah. Oh. But yeah, it just blows my mind that in certain areas of the United States, you guys get such a great deal. You guys get so much space, and it's so much less expensive than New York and Hawaii. Satellite photo? Okay, hold up. Let me look at the satellite photo. I will listen to you, Vladimir. I looked at it and I saw like rear garbage truck loaders right next to it. Hold up. Hold up. Oh my goodness. Freaking thing looks like a freaking mansion. Look at this, you guys. Look at that. You get that whole square. Jeez. But wait a second. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them too. But yeah, this thing is like huge. All these properties all have pools. I noticed that. Like, they all have pools in the back. I think pools are such a waste. I mean, it takes money to maintain, and then you can't, unless you're an avid swimmer. Like, why would you want to use why would you want to use a pool like that all the time? Like, I'm not a big swimmer. Even when I was in Hawaii, I had the ocean, I had a pool that I could swim in. I don't swim. I mean, I can swim, but I just don't like swimming. Go house hunting, but go house hunting in other places other than New York. I mean, I've heard that like property in Texas is so much cheaper. Some of you guys live in like the Midwest, and you guys get acres and acres and acres of land. Oh my gosh. Oh, so much, so much land. But it's like, yeah, mega houses compared to New York. Pool is to make you stay in shape. I don't know about that. I mean, I think it depends. Like, pool can also be a liability, right? Sometimes, like, you hear about kids or something drowning in a pool. Yeah. But I'm not a big pool person. Plus, its floor in 20 years will be over water. Really? Why in 20 years? Is Florida sinking or something like that? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, if you have like a city or state job, it's hard to leave because you might have pension. I know some people, for instance, in Hawaii, that once they get like a state job, they're very loyal to their job, and they say that the benefits are so good, and they're waiting for their pension to come in. Oh, sea level is rising. But I was telling Lewis before. I said I was looking into getting a job in New York, working for the state or something. But I don't know about now. I don't know. I don't know, with all this Corona stuff, I don't know if they're really hiring or anything like that. And then you got to take an exam, and a lot of things got shut down as recently. Lots of borders. They are really small. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I think your version, your interpretation of small versus mine is a lot different because when I see this stuff, being from a tiny little island, it's just like I look at this, I'm like, oh my god, it's humongous, humongous. Imagine how easy it would be to lose Oreo Cat. Like I already lose Oreo Cat in this little apartment. So I would lose Oreo Cat in like a heartbeat. He would go disappearing and I would be like, I don't know where he is. He could be anywhere. It would be so hard. It would be so hard to find him. I kind of like how this. I know it's gonna sound strange to you guys, but I kind of like the size of the apartment. I really like the apartment because it's not too big, so I don't have to worry about losing the cats. And I think like sometimes if you have like too much space, it can kind of get overwhelming. Oreo would be gator food. Oreo would be gator food. He would not even run from the gator. He would not even run from the gator. I know that cat way too well. Did I ever tell you that when I was in Hawaii, like some of my parents, my dad wanted me to be he told me to look into becoming a police officer. Did I ever tell you that? And I told Lewis that, and Lewis was like, "You?" And I said, "Yeah." The only child, skinny as can be. He was like, "Erica, you should join HPD," and I'm like, "Me? Me? My 110 pounds, stick arm body? I don't think so." But then, you know what happened? My ex actually got into the police academy. One of my other exes joined HPD. Yeah, so. And it kind of surprised me because I thought, man, those people got through HPD. I used to actually give my ex a lot of crap for that. I said, I wonder how he got through HPD. I asked him that. I said, I don't know why they're hiring you. They must have had a shortage of police officers or something. See, because my ex, he's a very, very, great guy. He's a nice guy. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way at all. He's a really good person. I told him, I said, if a criminal came to you, I don't think the criminal would be scared of you. I think the criminal would be like, okay, I got sent this little toothpick over here. Yeah, so my ex, I think his legs were as skinny as mine's. He looked very friendly. It's kind of like if Oreo was a police officer kind of thing. Yeah, just super skinny instead. And yeah, but he had a good head on his shoulders. He would have made it through the academy, but unfortunately his gear got stolen. He was keeping his gear in the trunk, and his car got broken into like 2 days before he had his final exams or something like that. Yeah, and he claims they didn't tell him that he couldn't keep his stuff in the trunk, but yeah, it happened. Policing is more about attitude. I don't know. I don't think you really have attitude either. It's just, yeah. That's just me though. But he didn't get through the academy. He got booted out from the academy because he lost his gear, and they said it was like $10,000 worth of stuff. I don't know if it's true or not. Yeah. So they took the police scanner thing, the little radio. Yeah, I'm sweaty because it is hot and humid in this apartment, even though I have the AC running. Yeah, so he didn't make it through, but the silver lining of that is he did his own thing. He became an Amazon seller, and he sells things on Amazon. And he has like a nice house, like I think it's like a multi-family house he got in Hawaii for like $900,000 or so. And yeah, and I think he's well on his way. And he has a great girlfriend, and his girlfriend, in my opinion, is better than him. But yeah, I still talk to my ex. I still keep in track with him. I still keep in touch with him. Yeah. How did he lose all his gear? So he was keeping his gear in the trunk. I don't know why he was keeping his gear in the trunk. I forgot the reason why, but he kept this gear in the trunk, and then he kept it on there for like months, maybe like 1 or 2 months. I forgot how long the academy was. And 2 days before his final exam, his car got broken into at his apartment. Yeah, or at his parents' place. Yeah, they have an open garage, and I was thinking, so I don't know if it was an inside thing or not. I imagine that maybe someone was following him. It also didn't help that his mom air dried his clothes. And, like the police academy outfit was hanging prominently in the garage. So, yeah. I don't know. But I don't know. You guys think I would be good working with children? I don't know. I don't know about that. I have a soft spot. Yeah, maybe a museum guide or something. But yeah, I would be, I think, pretty good working with. I don't know about dogs, but I really like dogs. I really like dogs. I like cats. I'm more of a cat person now, but that could just be because of Oreo. I'm very biased. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel, yeah, yeah. I remember he had to go. He was telling me like he got bit up by mosquitoes at the police academy. They had to do like long planks and everything. Um, but he had a lot of determination. He always had a happy-go-lucky kind of demeanor to him. He has like, if he's focused on something, he'll do it. And one thing about my ex is that he's always a very nice person. Like he is such a nice person. He really is. He doesn't have any enemies, but if you cross him, he will mess around with you. Yeah. Like he's a really, really nice person. So that's why I kind of questioned him. I said, I didn't think he would be kind of tough on a criminal. Like if someone acted towards him, I think he would just be, he would have the demeanor of Oreo or something. Yeah, I didn't see him, striking respect in someone. Yeah. But that's the thing about HPD. When I think about like people in HPD, I don't think they're really. I don't see that kind of like response towards HPD like people have towards like NYPD. They're very they're kind of like kickback people, but then some people say like HPD people don't do much. If you want to see something that kind of sums up how a lot of people in Hawaii are, in my opinion, at least um, my interactions with them, there's this like a HPD kind of sing along thing on YouTube, and you see some people like really like happy, and yeah, it's kind of how whole people in Hawaii are. Yeah, I don't think he should have kept his gear inside of his car. I think the only thing he kept was his police radio. I think he kept the baton in there. I don't think he kept the gun with him. I know he didn't have a gun. Yeah, but he kept the bulletproof vest in there. Yeah. I just kind of worried for him because I told him, I said, if he gets caught with the wrong people, then it could be, it would not be good. I also I remember like I knew people who used to be like undercover cops. And this is just like associates kind of thing. Like I don't even remember their name anymore. But they said that they would be doing these undercover things. And then sometimes, the people that they kind of put in prison or testified against, they would see them at the shopping mall. And the reason being is because it's such a small frickin' island. And then sometimes these people would confront them in front of their family at a shopping mall, and then they would just like take it outside. Yeah, it's really like, yeah, I was just like, really? So you guys went at it? That's just strange. There's just some things like, it's like, they feel like because you're in the same community, then they got like personal beef against you, even though you're doing your job. So doing like policing on a small little island where there's a high chance you could run into that person in the future. I don't know about that. Yeah. I want to know a stranger coming on extra acquainted with her boyfriend. Like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, I feel like if people become exes or if they don't work out, there's really no reason to have animosity towards them, unless it was like a really, really, really bad breakup. Um, like if there was like lying or cheating and or like theft or something like that. But how many people are in Hawaii? It depends on the island. I want to say I think there's like 900,000 people in Hawaii. I don't really remember, but yeah. A lot of the times, if you live in Hawaii, you know people who know people who know people. So it's like, yeah, even though they don't know you directly, it's like, oh, my friend's sister's cousins, next door neighbor kind of thing. I have terrible memory. I have terrible memory with names. I have terrible memories with like faces sometimes. So I feel like a jerk when some people go up to me and they're like, oh, hey, Erica. I'm like, hey, I don't really remember you. Yeah. Yeah. So, but there's some people in Hawaii, like they can be very, very close knit. Very close knit, have really good relationships with, like people around them and then friends of friends of kind of thing. The slide is strange, like AV showed the face is weird, not seeing the floor. What? What do you mean? Why is it strange? Why is it strange? Oh yeah, usually you guys see the floor, but I don't know. I just was like, eh. Yeah, he's reckless. He's done some stupid stuff. I used to say like, stop being a dum dum and stuff like that. I actually tell a lot of people that sometimes. I'm like, you're being a dum dum, and they're like a dum dum, and I'm like, yeah, you're being a dummy. Like have some common sense. But yeah, but yeah, I don't have any animosity towards my exes. Yeah, no one has seen the face of ADE that I'm aware of. I feel weird looking at stuffed animal for hours. What? What? Why didn't you guys look at Blackberry for hours? She's just sleeping. Nah, I'm just kidding, you guys. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, AB never shows his face. I think that's kind of nice that when you. I think it's kind of nice when, if you're like a popular YouTuber and you don't have to show your face and you can just, like people who do some things like unboxing videos and like toys. If you can just capture an audience with your demeanor without showing your face, you have that. You're able to have a level of privacy. And I think that's really something special. Like right now, Lewis gets recognized every so often. We went to the market last week, or actually no, it was a couple of days ago. We went to the market a couple of days ago, and I guess someone recognized him because he just bolted. Like he just went off in a separate aisle, and I was shopping, and I was thinking, where's he going off to? And then he said someone spotted him, and I was thinking, so what if someone spots you? He knows 95% of the people, actually not 95, 99% of the people, if they see me and him together, they're going to instantly just like talk to him. So he just kind of like, kind of thing. He'll be like, okay, Erica, you're off on your own. No, I mean like what do I have here? I have like 41 people watching my stream right now. 41 people. Between Lewis and me, like he gets like all the attention. Like I have it like when we're going to the right to repair hearings, for instance, people would see me, right? And they'd be like, and I'd be like, hey, and then they would be like, is Lewis here? And I'd be like, Yeah, so most of the time when people talk to me, they ask me where he is, and you know, I got used to it. I'm just like, yeah. I feel like I'm like the gatekeeper in a sense. They're like, yeah, Erica, we'll talk to you, but we want to know where he is. Yeah, and then I'm just sometimes depending on if I'm like, he's right over there. Make your way right through those double doors. You'll see him. Just turn straight to the left. So he probably wants me to be a better bouncer of sorts, but yeah, I'm like, no, there's way more people that want to talk to him than me. Nobody really wants to talk to me. I get it. I get it. You know, I think it's hard to say. Like, I don't think 99% of his fans are stalkers at all. But I think sometimes when he has people and they just like, if they go in the store or they walk in front of the store and they just like look out the window and they're just staring at him. Like, that's actually happened. That's actually happened. Like, I remember I was in the store, 141 West 27th Street. And I was walking outside. I remember there was this guy outside the door. And I just thought, oh, maybe he's just checking the signage, right? I walk outside the doors, and they're like, they tell me they want to speak to Lewis, and I'm just like, so because Lewis was in the front of the store, you know where the front desk area is, they could see him directly through the large glass windows, and instead of them, I thought maybe you know they weren't too sure if they're in the right place or. Maybe they were apprehensive of going in because they didn't know if we were open. It seemed like they were transfixed on him, but they didn't have the courage maybe to go inside and talk to him. So I just opened the door and I was like, Lois, someone wants to talk to you. And then I just walked away, grabbed my lunch, you know, and I didn't have a care in the world. Yeah. I'm like, if you want to talk to him, don't just like stare at the window. Just go inside the store and just say hi or something, you know, assuming he's not busy. I think it's a lot less creepy than just like looking out the window and just like that. I mean, when it comes down to it, he's a human being. So you don't you know just gawk at him. But I laugh at it when I see it because I know when I'm next to him, like all the attention will go straight to him. It'll be like Lewis and a chick. It's like I feel like he has an aura next to him. So I like that because I can just be myself. I won't have any like weird people like staring at me. They would all be if you follow their eyes, they'd all be looking at him most of the time. Oh, you're talking about Kopaz, right? You're talking about Kopaz, following him around. Yeah. Yeah, there's actually people like Lewis told me that he was going into the apartment one day, like in the front apartment, someone recognized him and he was like, "Oh shit." No. And that person who recognized him lived on the block too. So now there's someone who lives on the block that knows where Lewis lives. And I'm like, ah, you know, so what? Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. You can easily find that stuff on the internet if you wanted to. Yeah, it's pretty. Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you, Red October. So I just want to shill it. You know, um, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button. Oh, I'm a terrible YouTuber. I'm a terrible YouTube person. I don't know how people get hyped into it. And I like I said, I feel bad for those YouTubers who always have to maintain that level of energy. It's like they're bouncing on a ball or something. It's just strange. Like I think that's why people do pre-recorded rather than live stream, because if you're doing a live stream, it's hard. I imagine it would be very hard to maintain the same level of energy throughout the stream. But yeah, I always see that thing like, you know, make sure you hit subscribe or, you know, bash that bell or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think he's got some like, from what I remember, I don't remember anyone like really please broing him in person, but yeah, that weird staring with no conversation is strange. Like it's just, imagine you're walking down the street and you just have someone like staring at you, like like that. It's just like unsettling. You like wonder if something's on your face or something, and then finally they're like, oh, I'm really happy to meet you. But I tell them this. I say you have to think about this way. Like there's some people who see him on camera, right? And there's when you see someone on camera, you might feel like you want to meet that person, and then when you finally see them, you're like, oh, I've seen like so many videos of yours, I'm so happy I can finally see you. But then you feel maybe like a little awkward because they don't, you don't really know them at all. So when I see people, like if someone is kind of anxious to meet him, I just feel like he's just a person. He's a, he might not be the most friendliest person at times. Sometimes he gets hangry. You guys know when he gets hangry. You guys can see him when he gets hangry. But as long as you're a nice person and you're just not like deadpan staring at him or like that, like, yeah. But if someone has anxiety around him or something like that, I don't think it's anything to be embarrassed about. Um, if people have anxiety meeting him, then it's like a natural phenomenon. I can understand. I can understand. And I say this as a person, sometimes I have anxiety issues too. Like today, going to the food pantry unannounced, I was kind of like, I don't want to show up unannounced. So I was like, oh, should I go? Should I not go? And I finally told myself, Erica, just go, just go. And yeah, well, you know what happened with the food pantry thing, but yeah, having anxiety is normal. If you see someone and you've kind of watched a lot of their videos, I can imagine how it can be kind of like a anxiety inducing, like bonding situation, maybe it. But yeah, they're just YouTubers are just normal people. They kind of get weirded out too if someone's just staring at them. So if you see someone on YouTube that you recognize, just wave hi to them. Just be friendly. Yeah. Um, I think if you see him, you could just say something like, I watch your channel, I like what you do, and that's it. Yeah, it's hard for him, especially because he's at work, right? It's not like he's like at a book signing or something. He's at work, so if a lot of people try to talk to him, sometimes he has to like cut it short because he has things he has to do. He's not always at work too. Sometimes people like go into the store and they want to know, hey, when's Lewis gonna be in, or worse, when's Erica gonna be in? Oh my gosh, like, yeah, that's terrible. Like I feel bad when people want to know when I'm gonna be there because I'm there so infrequently. I'm only there like maybe like once every month or so, very very infrequently. So yeah, but nobody, very 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 few people ask about me. They all just want to know about Lewis. Yeah. What celebrities make you fangirl, Erica? Oh gosh. Define fangirl. Do you mean like what celebrities do I find attractive, or what celebrities, like if I saw them I'd be like, the Irish have an odd attitude to fame where it's cool to not appear too interested. Oh. Nah, you know what it is? It's because when you watch YouTube videos, you're so used to looking at a person that when you actually see a person and you don't see them react, or you're seeing them in their natural habitat, you feel like an urge to go up to them. Kind of like I know this is going to sound terrible, but kind of like a zoo animal. If you see like the zoo animals, you'd be like, oh, like that. I get it. I get it. You know? Yeah, that's the problem too. Like if people, there's certain people, they go up to Lewis and then they want his phone number, um, and it's kind of like an uncomfortable situation because some people, they want his personal phone number, um, And how you handle is you just say, sorry, I don't give out my personal phone number. But yeah, I haven't had to dish out that line because nobody wants my number. But let's see. No, he was telling me that people have actually disclosed um, his address to him. So for him, he's just like, yeah, a bunch of people know it already. Out secret. Out secret with Screech Lewis, you legend, with a wave and keep on walking. Oh my gosh. Uh, have I implemented the two glove cat scratching technique? No, I have not. I have not implemented the two glove cat scratching technique, Vladimir. Please tell me more about it. Nick Cave. Who's Nick Cave? I know Nick Cage, but I don't know who Nick Cave is. If that's a YouTuber, I don't know who that is. Yeah, Justin brings up a really good point. If you do meet a celebrity, that they're if you do meet a celebrity, just try to remember that they're people too and put yourself in their position, how you would react to your behavior. That's true. It's very true. But I think also if you are a celebrity, after a while, you kind of get used to it. Like I hear about Michael Jackson, for instance, right? When people saw Michael Jackson, they would faint when they saw him, or women would start crying and things like that. And I think like there's some people who are just so up there in the celebrity, you know, world, and they have fangirls and people idolize them, especially singers, right? People can just get caught up with this whole thing and just obsessively, stalk them and chase them and things like that. And I feel bad for those celebrities. I really do. The people who have like the ultra stalkers. Don't go and ask him for a butt. Wow, you saw DJ Khaled at the grocery store. Wow, if I saw that, if I saw DJ Khaled at the grocery store, I would have thought instantly, like, at another one, are we the best? I really like DJ Khaled's music. Wow. Yeah, I had a substitute teacher back in grade school, and he said he was in like a movie or something. And the worst thing is, we were all asking him for his autograph, right? And then after you get his autograph, you're like, what's his name again? Yeah, it's just terrible. I think I have his autograph somewhere, but I have no idea what his name was, and I can't remember his name. But yeah, I have his autograph somewhere in one of my grade school notebooks of some sort. I do have an autograph of my favorite J-Rock, one of my favorite J-Rock stars. His name is Mana, Mana. You might want to look it up. My goodness, I used to honestly idolize this guy for a number of years when I was in high school. And I tried to dress up like Mana, but it didn't work out for me. The gothic Lolita stuff does not look good on me. But when I actually saw him in person, I was like, yeah. And I had no idea that they were going to be at this convention. So I went to this convention to sell my plushies. I did not know Mana was going to be there that day. So when I went over there, I looked like an absolute bum. It was just like total bum-like fashion. It was just like, oh gosh. Yeah. But Mana signed my poster of him that I bought. And it was really cheap. I think it was like only $8 for a poster. And shook my hand, and I was, Yeah. I told the translator to tell Mono that I was really excited to meet him. Like after, it was something like, I've been waiting 13 years to meet you or something like that. It was so creepy when I think about it. But yeah, I was just like, oh, when I was in high school, I idolized Mono so much. I really did. And Gak too, Gackt, that one. Yeah. To him, you're contribution. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah, yeah, you shouldn't give out personal phone numbers to anybody, especially if you put it on the internet. You have all these people like prank calling you and things like that. Yeah, I think the problem is like when Lewis does live streams, for instance, his live streams are more, how would I say it? His live streams are more like question and answer. So people will ask him a question and he'll just like go off, one from another to another. But when you have like long discussions, or when you have like long one-sided discussions, like he talks about his philosophies and his views on certain things, and it can make people feel like they know you, and you I and people do kind of have a general sense of what kind of person you are based on your views of certain things, and there's no problem with that. But there is kind of something strange if like someone goes out to meet you and then they're like, I know everything about you and stuff like that. It's just, yeah. Vladimir says he's gonna go to the store's grave. Lewis. Yeah. I don't know who Nick Cave is. I have no idea who Nick Cave is. Yeah. Oh, Guy Tang, yes. Yeah, he does amazing hair, I've heard. Amazing hair. But I read the Yelp reviews, and some people say that he's not he's not the most professional, and he charges a lot of money to get hair done. But he does some amazing work. At least what you see on YouTube. Yeah, teens wept when they saw their Beatles. Oh, Rob, stop exaggerating. People do not faint when they see you. I'm sure you're not ugly. You're only ugly if you're ugly on the inside. If you're like a real jerk or something, or you're mean to people consistently, or you say terrible things. Oh, you body slammed into seal. Wait, did his bodyguards like push you away or something? Because I'm sure he has bodyguards, or at least I'd like to think that you have body. At least like to think he has bodyguards. Oh. This is a piece. Oh. Judge Judy! Oh my goodness, Outseeker has the most valuable autograph out there. Judge Judy. Holy crap. I love Judge Judy. I love her wit. I love how she says things as it is, and she consistently it's just like, some of the stuff she says, she's a really snappy woman. That's why I don't know if her show is still on, but it was on for a really long time. I was just with a friend. Oh, stop that, Rob. Don't say that about yourself. Best woman who ever lived. I don't think anybody hates Judge Judy except people who she called out. Because there's some things like she's like I said, she really has a really smart wit. Ah, you know what I wish wasn't taken off the air? America's Most Wanted. Do you remember that? America's Most Wanted. I miss that. I miss seeing John Walsh and his jacket, his black leather jacket. I miss that. Yeah. I was watching on YouTube like for a while, but I couldn't really get into it. They had like paternity court thing, so you know Maury, things like that. Oh my goodness, Blackberry, stop scratching the couch. Yeah, America's Most Wanted. That was so long ago. I think it got reposted. I think it got moved over to another network, but it wasn't Fox. It was such a shame when they got rid of that show because everybody tuned in. Everybody tuned in. A lot of people tuned in to watch America's Most Wanted every week. And I used to, even when I was like a little girl, I used to watch that stuff. Tackle Arnold. Oh my gosh, yeah, cops. Oh gosh. Yeah, that was the part where people were behind to cops. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Like back when they had the Cops TV show, people were, you know, you love watching cops. You were like, yeah, tackle that perpetrator, things like that, and you know, put that guy in cuffs. And now you hear about things like defund the police. I'm like, oh, we need some good cop show that's patriotic as well to kind of shine the light on the good cops. And I don't like hearing all this media attention only about the bad cops, because I really do believe that there are good cops out there, but right now they're getting overshadowed by the bad cops. So it kind of sucks. And then I also hear about, you know, you got some cops who are you got some cops who are calling in sick in Atlanta, right? Because of what happened. And I understand it. I really do. I I don't know. I can't remember it might have been because I was so young. I don't really remember how the reputation of cops were back then. But I think people didn't really dislike cops. You know, you had America's Most Wanted on there. You had cops. It was kind of like, you know, catch the criminal and put them away and get justice and things like that. And now it's turned into, you know, a not so great thing with the cops. Yeah, yeah, it's called blue flu. Yeah, but it does bring up some alarming things. You know, when you hear about how a cop can defend themselves or try to defend themselves, and then they're instantly just arrested like that. I understand why some people might be apprehensive of joining the police department, because if you're taking a job, right, and your job is maybe about $45,000 a year, if someone attacks you and you defend yourself and you end up, you know, killing the person or something like that, is it really worth going to jail for many years or possibly the rest of your life for that kind of job? In my opinion, no. And I think that's why the Atlanta cops are doing what they're doing right now. Oh gosh, yeah. Lewis posts like the worst freaking photos of me ever. Like, yeah, I'm like in mid chew and I have like all the food on one side of my face. I'm not like that. It's just, I don't post unflattering pictures of him. I don't need to post unflattering pictures of him because he already has unflattering pictures of him on the internet. Okay, so you will never see me post any unflattering pictures of him. I would only try to post good pictures of him, but yeah, for some reason he wants to spread the internet with bad pictures of me. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Oh, I don't. Well, let's see. That picture, no, he posts terrible pictures of me. He posts, it's like the most unflattering pictures of me. That's why when I see stuff like, you know, 4chan saying like, oh, Lewis' girlfriend is like ugly, I'm like, I think that's so too. If you know, if you see some pictures of me that he posts up, like the thumbnail pictures, I'm like, oh gosh, please post a nice picture of me, like a flattering picture. Not this like, you know, obviously I look kind of weird in some like mid expression or mid chew. What was my favorite band in my tender years? What's in my younger years? Okay, I really love NSYNC. NSYNC, I love NSYNC so much. If NSYNC got back together, even though there's like 0% chance or 0.001% chance, I guarantee you, I would try to drag Lewis to that concert. I'd be like, we need to see NSYNC. I love NSYNC so much. They have a special place in my heart, and I'm crazy for them, and it makes me ill thinking that they're not touring right now. I don't know. You know what? To each their own. That's yeah. I love NSYNC so much. I think I love pop and I never got out of pop, so that's why I like Justin Bieber. I like Shawn Mendes. Yeah. I love Bieber. I love Bieber's music. I like his voice, and I think when he had like that squeaky clean look, I don't know if you remember like when the Boyfriend age, like when in his song Boyfriend. Yeah, I thought, man, he is really an attractive 17-year-old guy. Yeah, I thought that was like the best hairstyle for him. Now, was I crushing on him like that kind? No, I wasn't. But I thought he was a very attractive 17-year-old, and that's the reason why he had so many fans chasing over him, calling themselves, the future Mrs. Bieber and things like that. Yeah. I also like DJ Khaled's music as well. What's up with the NSYNC? I mean NSYNC. Oh my god, the NYC fireworks. I I don't know what's up with that. I really don't know what's up with that. I have this theory, and some people have the same theory as well, that people are shooting off fireworks to distract the police because they have this thing called like sharp shooter or something like spot shooter, where they can kind of triangulate where bullets or explosions are coming from, and the police will go over there. But because these fireworks are going off, in my opinion, it's kind of like spreading the police thin. And over the weekend, like so many people got shot and killed in New York. I think there was something like 22 people got injured. One person got shot in the head randomly. And it makes me wonder that if we're going to become apathetic, or we're just going to block out explosions or gunshot noises thinking, oh, it's just the fireworks, nothing happened. Like, if you were to commit a crime right now, okay? If you were to commit a crime right now, being perfectly honest, if you were to do something to someone late at night when there are fireworks happening, you can't even, nobody would report it to the police saying that, oh, I heard a gunshot go off. They would say, oh, frick, it's more fireworks. So you have some people who, in my opinion, would be committing crime, and they have the cover of fireworks. That's my thinking. Like, these fireworks are not cheap to pop out either. You hear it go on for hours. It's gonna cost a small fortune, yet they're all like pop, 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 pop. 9 Inch Nails. Yeah, so I kind of wonder how things are gonna go. I also kind of think that it's easy for a rise of crime or gun violence to happen in New York because of this stuff. Oh, I remember I applied for this internship one time, and they asked me if you could have dinner with anybody, who would you have dinner with? And I said, is it dead or alive? And they said, both. And I said, if I could have dinner with anybody, I'd like to have dinner with, for dead, it would be Michael Jackson, because I would like to get to, understand his mind, because I think he was misrepresented in the media. And then the person who I'd like to meet, if they were still living, would be Marilyn Manson. And I think they were kind of surprised by that. He's a very controversial guy, but he's a smart guy. He's very sharp. But of course, he has his own issues. And I remember he said that when he was dating someone, I want to say it was Rachel Evan Wood. I might be remembering it wrong, but he was calling her, and every time she wasn't answering her phone, he would like cut himself on the face. That might be true, that might not be true, but that's what I was hearing, and I was thinking, oh jeez. But he's in my opinion, he's a very smart guy, very intellectual guy. I don't know about Michael Jackson still being alive. I mean, I can't speculate if the rumors were true or not, but I think that him settling for the insurance thing, or the insurance paying out for the earlier allegations that were happened in the 90s, was not a good look for him at all. So after that, it just became like wave and wave and wave of lawsuits. Yeah, but I hope these fireworks will settle down. It's not good. Yeah, he took off with Elvis. I remember I saw it in the National Enquirer for the longest time. People were saying things like, "Oh, I went to the grocery store and I saw this guy and he looked like Elvis." It's like, I saw those blue eyes and I swear they were Elvis. Elvis is still alive somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. In city, gunshots sound different to the heart. No, there's actually, if I remember correctly, there's actually an autopsy photo of Tupac floating around, and it's pretty gruesome. Yeah. Yeah, I think I think I saw the Tupac autopsy photos. Not good. Not good. I used to have kind of like a morbid curiosity about certain things, so I've seen a lot of kind of gruesome things on the internet. And yeah, some of it, the stuff, I was like, I wish I didn't search for it. It was terrible. It was terrible. Yeah. Oh, I've heard about that, Charlie Chaplin. He got 27th place. Not 27th place, but I've heard that he went into a personator contest. I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah. Kind of surprising though. I mean, like, I imagine that they would be able to easily recognize him unless he was older and aged a little, maybe. I think it should be illegal. You have a lot of people who don't know how to handle fireworks safely, and I believe I saw that they said a shelter got lit on fire, and the speculation is because of fireworks. If you shoot a fireworks and it doesn't go straight in the air, it goes sideways, or if it lands in the wrong spot, you can cause a fire, or worse. There are people who try to light up the firework, and whatever reason things go wrong, and they have, they blow up their hand or something. It's not good. Who didn't have a thing for Elvis movies? Like, I can understand, like, back in the day why people were like Elvis crazy. He was crooner. He had those dashing good looks. I understand it. I think a lot of people had things for Elvis. I haven't watched an Elvis movie. Maybe I should watch one. Firework people. Yeah. I just hope people would cut this firework shit out, because people are gonna get injured over there, and firework injuries are a very real thing. Yeah, a lot of people who become like mega celebrities, it's sad that they pass away too soon. And you had Michael Jackson pass away. I think he was like 50. You had Prince pass away early. Elvis passed away, early too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think making fireworks illegal is gonna stop anybody. If they have their hands on it, they're gonna fire it off. But just don't cause a. Oh, the 27 Club. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. And then who else? Amy Winehouse died. She was really young too. It's really sad, you know. Like when I look back at the Amy Winehouse stuff, you see her last performance. I felt so bad for her. Those her last performance that she performed. I wish I never saw that, because to see how much, how emotionally you could see her emotion on her face. It's just like she shouldn't have been on stage at all. You really shouldn't. If you guys are curious, watch Amy Winehouse's last, I think her last performance. She just looked so scared, and she had like a lot of anxiety. You could tell like she didn't want to be there. But you know, if you're a singer, you have an audience. People want to see you perform. You got to be on stage, and if you can't perform, or you're not on the level that you used to be, kind of like Whitney Houston. You guys remember that Whitney Houston was singing on stage her, I Will Always Love You, and she would croak. She would kind of look like she was drugged out or drunk, and people just ripped into her. Yeah. So I think it's sad when you have people who obviously don't want to be on stage, but they have to perform. Yeah. I wonder, like, what celebrity, if they passed away, people would lose their mind if they passed away. I'm trying to think. Like, an Adele or something. I think people would. Well, she's really young. I'm trying to think. Trying to think. Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head, but yeah, like that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you know what, it kind of, what would be really really bad. It would really break the news. What if one of the presidential nominees for the election season pass away, right? I always think about that. Like, for instance, Biden's getting up there in age, and sometimes I wonder, like, if the Democratic presidential nominee passed away from old age, what happens? Like, there's so much hype for Biden, right? I see him all over my YouTube feeds. Like, when I look at videos, I get so much Biden ads, Biden ads, Biden ads. If anything happened to him, and I really hope nothing happens to him. I think people would just like lose their mind. Like, what now? What now? So, yeah. 27, yeah. Well. No, I don't use ad blocker. I don't use ad blocker because, like, for me, I've always thought, like, well, if I have, I mean, like, especially for YouTube, I always think, like, well, if I can get, like, my YouTubers that I'm subscribed to, like, one penny, then yeah, it's worth it, because I see their content for free. 444 ads? Wait, on YouTube? How would you get 444 ads on YouTube? Oh my goodness. I am subscribed to like a bunch of YouTubers. I'm subscribed to like Homestead Tessie. I'm subscribed to like Beat the Bush. I really like Beat the Bush's channel. I really do. Who else am I subscribed to? Yeah, those are the only ones. Oh, there's a carnivore diet. I'm subscribed to like some vegan YouTubers, some non-vegan YouTubers. I like seeing like the different views. So there was this one vegan. I know some people are gonna be like, he wasn't vegan. There was this one vegan YouTuber. His name was John Venus, and people were like losing their minds when he said he was no longer vegan. And I think now he says he's going to be hunting animals. And he's a fitness YouTuber of sorts. So I saw my feed say like, he was never vegan to begin with. He's a fake vegan. And the other people are like, good on you, John Venus. Do what you want to do. So yeah, I see all these. I see that stuff. Red October, I need you to tell people to smash that like button, okay? I'm gonna be like, wait, hold up a second, but before I say any more words, I just want to remember to tell you to smash that like button. Yeah, yeah, the hard part is for like him, he had like an apology video of some sorts, and he said that the vegan lifestyle wasn't really for him, but he does believe that it is healthy, and he wants to continue consulting for people and his clients. And I was just thinking in my head, I don't know if you can have it both ways, because if you say that you're a vegan YouTuber, right, and you're a nutritionist or you're a fitness person, and you feel like for yourself, whatever your issues, you can't resolve it with the vegan diet, then what gives you the authority, or what gives you that knowledge base to help other people? So I think he actually will lose a lot of clients, because if he can't resolve his own problems, his own health issues on the vegan diet, then I think he loses a lot of trust from his clients. But my take on the John Venus thing is, I feel people should stick to the diet that they do the best on. For me personally, I've tried different, diets. I've tried, you know, um, I've tried like low fat. Right now I'm kind of on a high fat diet. I have a lot of grass fed butter, grass fed milk. I eat sardines. I feel good on that. I tried keto. Keto didn't work for me because I can't say no to the carbs at all. Low carb, I try to do low carb. I tried vegetarianism. I can't do that for long extended periods of times. You guys notice like I get kind of gaunt after a while. I've been kind of gaining weight a little, well, at least on the face, because I've been eating more healthy fats. And vegan diet, I can't do it. I love my cheesecake too much. I eat eggs every day. Butter is not vegan. Honey, yeah, it's just I just like animal products too much. I feel better on animal products, but yeah, so if John Venus felt like the vegan diet or the vegetarian diet didn't work for him and he wants to become a meat eater again, then he should explore it. Life is too short for it. I feel like if that diet doesn't work for him and if he wants to go back to veganism, then he can go back on it. But you shouldn't you shouldn't I don't like the idea of restricting your eating choices based on what I believe to be kind of like a religion. Because you got some people who say, they say that veganism is not just a diet, but it's a whole lifestyle. And I think the most ultimate thing is you do what feels best for you. Try a diet. If it doesn't work for you, then find a diet that works for you. You should never feel like you're compromising your health for a diet. That's just my opinion though. I've tried vegetarianism, tried veganism. Long term, it just doesn't work for me. I feel off. I get more anxiety. I get depressed after a while. And studies have actually said that vegetarians and vegans have a higher rate of depression or anxiety. And that's what I felt. So that's why you see me consume animal products. And yeah. Now, I'm not saying, this happens to everybody, but try a diet, see if it works for you. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, find something that really does work for you. Outseeker forgot to hit the like button. Oh, you. Ah. Thank you, Vladimir. Um, Secondary animal product? What do you mean by secondary animal product, Greg? Like, give me an example. Are you talking about like eggs? Eggs is not considered vegan. Anything that comes from an animal or a living creature is not considered vegan. So like people would not consider honey as vegan because that comes from a bee. Yeah, that could be taken as like a bee exploitation. I get where it comes from. So chickens are a no go either. I mean, chicken eggs are a no go. Milk is a no go. If you eat like milk, cheese, eggs, you're considered a vegetarian. Are plants living things too? Yes, plants are living things too. But they said that plants don't really have feelings, or they don't have a. You can regrow a bunch of plants by putting a bunch of seeds in the ground. If you chop like lettuce down, it'll regrow, or like harvest fruit trees. But I think the thing that people need to consider as well, um, and this is the reason why, like the morality thing, I understand it, but I think of it like as a I think anything when you deal with agriculture, you will risk a life being extinguished, right? If you buy like vegetables, so many animals, so many instincts have either been displaced or they've been killed through pesticides. So I take that into consideration. And so when people say like, oh, the vegan lifestyle, you don't have to kill any animals. Okay, you're right, you don't kill any animals, but how many insects do you kill? How much animals inadvertently get hurt through farming practices? And then not only that, right? You think about the insects, you think about the animals, or the animals that inadvertently get killed, but I also like to keep in mind, what about humans as well, because like cashews, for instance, in India, you got women who open up cashews and it burns their fingers. You can find this on YouTube. They actually have burned fingers because they don't like using gloves, since the acid, since the breaking apart the cashews can rip the gloves. So I don't consume that many cashews. I try to heavily avoid cashews. Cashews would fall under being a vegan, right? But I think, okay, I have to consider, what about the human welfare aspect of it? I choose not to eat cashews, not because it's, not because there's any animals associated with it, but I have to think about human suffering as well. Yeah, so I try to minimize my impact on human suffering, so I don't eat cashews very often. I rarely, rarely eat cashews. I do eat, I do consume honey, and the reason why I do consume honey is because I recognize that bees are essential for a lot of agriculture, for flowering fruits and things like that. If we didn't have bees, you wouldn't have like the fruit yields that you have for certain trees. And I believe strongly that there are responsible beekeepers here. Local beekeepers, they should be supported. And I try to buy local honey or raw honey. I don't like buying any of that, cheap, unidentifiable honey, like the mass honey. I try to buy like honey that they say is ethically sourced. Yeah, keto works, but you have to be like consistently on keto, and I know myself way too well. I kicked myself out of keto so many times when I was on keto, but it did help me. I was a more leaner. I did feel like I did feel more on point with keto, but I love my cheesecake. I love my carbs too much, and I just kept feeling, tired all the time, like energetic or up there in energy, and then super freaking lethargic. Yeah. So Something that doesn't come from a plant but had animal products in their creation. Are you talking about like secondary animal product like leather? Like if you yeah, or like bone broth, like that? Like leather is an animal product. Who are you talking about? Like, oh my goodness, she thinks she's better than other people. Oh yeah, I gotta turn on the light. Hold up. Oh no. There we go. Sorry. I lose track. Okay. So as I was saying, plant lives very much matter. I believe in responsible. I do believe in like organic farming as much as possible. But here's the thing, right? So when you deal with like um, organic agriculture and you're using things like chicken poop, cow manure, and things like that, those are animal byproducts. So I'm not very familiar with how vegans or vegetarians view fertilizing the land, but you know those animal poop and manure, that's most likely coming from factory farmed animals or animals that are going to be killed, for meat consumption. So is there any ethical dilemmas using animal poop as a fertilizer or like eggshells, right? That's my question about it, because I've never really thought about it, but it's just kind of come to mind. Like if you have animal poop and if you want to raise plants and do it in an organic fashion and you want to fertilize it, do you feel comfortable, if you're a vegan, using the animal poop or the eggshells as a soil fertilizer? Or how about like earthworm casings? Is that okay, or is that considered like exploitation of the earthworms or something? I don't think being vegan is expensive. You can, eating beans and rice is cheap, but I think it can get expensive if you try to go outside of certain things and you want to buy like a vegan cupcake or something, or vegan cheesecake, buy it at a grocery store. Like you're gonna have a hard time finding it. Like when I went into my brief stint into being vegan when I was in Hawaii, it did not work well for me at all because I struggled to find places to eat. There was only a few places I could eat. Oh, my sister-in-law is like, I get it. I do think that people who are vegan, they believe that they're doing, good for the environment. And I have to agree, consuming plants is less harmful than consuming meat. I've heard people tell me that, Erica, you believe in eating grass-fed, but not the whole country can't sustain itself on grass-fed cattle or grass-fed milk. And but I think that, it's like I don't think everyone can be a grass-fed meat eater. We don't have the land for it. I also don't think that everybody can be vegan as well. If you have, I prioritize human health over animal welfare, and I think some people will criticize me for that, but I've known people who have suffered health-wise and they refuse to eat animal products. And some people, they have injuries, right, and they don't recover fast enough. And I can't help but think, is it because they have nutritional deficiencies within them? And I think that you need to have like a well-rounded diet. There are certain things that you cannot find in a vegan diet, and if you don't have nutritional knowledge, and if you're eating certain things, right, you might have some kind of like nutrition imbalance somewhere down the line. I don't know what it is, but I don't think that, you know, people should be preachy about like, oh, you know, my diet is superior than yours and everybody should be like my diet, because diets are not one size fit all. Do what makes you feel the best. I encourage people, hey, try all these different diets, and if one diet doesn't work, then try another one or modify diets. And ultimately, I think that I believe that people should be in optimal health as much as they can. And if they need to consume animal products, then try and find the more ethical one. Instead of buying regular eggs, buy pasture raised eggs, you know, free range eggs, that kind of stuff. Yeah, omega 3s, it's not that bad. You can get them from sardines. I've been eating sardines a lot. I just got some fermented cod liver oil. I'm trying that thing out. I don't know how it's going to work, but some people said that it works really good. And I want to make sure that I'm healthy for many years to come, because I think that animals are important, but I want to be in optimal shape or close to it or feel like it. So that way I can stay around and be with my loved ones for a very, very long time. There's nothing worse for me. There's some days where I feel really off, and I think it's happened when I was like low protein, especially. So yeah, I wanna make choices that I feel like I can, you know, be on it for many years to come. The point of veganism is to basically avoid anything associated with animals. You want to consume plants. You want to be mindful for the environment. You want to, yeah, and it it it, it kind of gets mixed up, because some people say like they like to think veganism is tied in with compassion and love. I don't think that that's necessarily it. You can be a jerk and you can be a vegan. But I think it's just like thinking mostly about the animals and saving the animals, and yeah, and you know, following this lifestyle where if you're eating plants, you know that, you know, an animal did not get killed directly for it. It's different, right? If you consume like some broccoli, and unfortunately, let's say a bird got poisoned from pesticides, let's just put it out there, right? You don't really think about it. But if you consume beef, for instance, you see it in front of you, you know a cow died as a result of your food. Yeah, I agree with you, Amber. I don't like, I really don't like the preachy stuff as well. I don't like it when people say, you know, they try to hold morals against you or try to insinuate that you're not a kind person, or you don't really care about animals if you're a meat eater. I think that it doesn't have to be, if you're a meat eater, you're a murderer, right? I don't believe that at all. I think you can be a meat eater, but you can also be mindful towards animals. You can always reduce your meat consumption. You can always try to buy meat that is humanely slaughtered or raised in a humane fashion or more humane fashion by buying things from a local farm, or one that really prides itself on being, you know, having one of those humane labels on it, versus going to a supermarket and buying something from like Tyson Chicken. Yeah, yeah, fish is not vegetarian. That's pescatarian. Dairy, cheese is considered vegetarian. Milk is considered vegetarian, but For fish, because you would directly slaughter an animal, or someone would slaughter that animal for you, it doesn't fall under vegetarian. I've never ever tried sturgeon in my life. It sounds expensive though. It is. Oh, it is expensive. I've heard of sturgeon caviar, but I've never ever tried that. Yeah, so I was reading something online today, and they were saying how if you eat, for people who consume fat, they eat actually less than those who consume like a lot of sugar. So if you want to, watch what you're eating, just consume more higher fat foods. And I do actually agree with that. I noticed that when I've been eating more like high fat dairy, I have like whole milk, I drink whole milk, I eat grass fed butter, I eat less food, and I don't feel like I get bloated as easily. Yeah, so I'm trying to reduce my sugar intake and increase my dairy intake right now. Hello. No, I don't agree. I don't agree with fruitarianism, but that's just my belief here, because when I tried fruitarianism, I was feeling perfectly fine, but then my teeth started hurting. That's the problem with that. And I think it was all that sugar acid bathing my teeth over and over and over and over. It just encourages cavities. But there are people who do the fruitarian diet and they do well on it. But, to each their own, you know? Oh, no, no, no. It's the cows eat the grass, and then you milk the cows, and then you get the butter. So then that's called, grass-fed butter. So, yeah. But some people really flourish on it. You got some people who really do well on that diet. But as I've always said, find a diet that works for you. You might you might work with fruitarianism. That might be your optimal diet, but you don't know unless you try it. What about vegetables? Vegetables fall under veganism or vegetarianism. Yeah, that's where I see it. Vegetables are safe to eat. Vegetables and fruits are safe to eat. You don't need teeth with the fruit, or right or not. No, there's so much sugar in fruit. I mean, you can just have so many cavities. And also, when I look at a lot of YouTubers who are fruitarianisms, I kind of look at their teeth and I'm kind of suspicious, because maybe it's just the prominent ones that I see, but it looks like they got porcelain veneers on. Yeah, so I don't know if that's just a coincidence, if they're just doing it for a cosmetic thing, but or if it's because their teeth got damaged. I can kind of see why you would need porcelain veneers if you were on a high fruit diet, because it would just mess up your teeth. But some people would disagree with me. But I know I stopped because my teeth started hurting. Once my teeth started hurting, I said, nope, not gonna do it. I'm not gonna risk my teeth. I think tomatoes a. I think tomato was a fruit. I think it was, but I'm not too sure. Yeah. If you actually want to have fruit juice, you should probably just consume the whole thing by itself, because at least you're consuming the fiber, unless you blend it like a Vitamix or something. Have you ever had the honeycomb chewing honeycombs? I have. I actually have. I've actually tried honey in the honeycomb. So you put it in your mouth and then you chew it, and then you have like a ball of wax and you got to spit it out. It's an experience. It really is. It's not something I crave, but it wasn't a bad experience. Oh, I think everybody loves extra pulp OJ. I love freshly squeezed orange juice, but I've been eating oranges almost every single day right now. I've been heavy on the oranges. I think vitamin C is good to have. And yeah, so right now I'm upping my vitamin C, I'm upping my omegas, my fatties, acids, and things like that, fatty oils. Yeah, just trying all this different stuff. But I feel better. I feel better than I did before. I'm also drinking protein powder. I took some of your suggestions. Some of you guys recommended this. You guys said use the egg powder and then maybe mix it in with something else. I actually used half of my egg powder, protein powder, and then half of a vegan protein powder, and then I put on cocoa powder. It's not the best, but it's way better than just 100% egg by itself. That's for sure. Like the 100% egg was just terrible. It was terrible. Do not buy that egg protein powder. In my opinion, I would rather just eat some eggs instead. Eat more eggs, less of that egg protein powder. What? What? Are you kidding me? Really? Beekeepers consume bee larvae and honeycomb? I'm gonna knock it just because I don't like the idea of eating worms, but I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe it's tasty. Okay, you know what? You know what? Okay. If I ever came across a beekeeper who had that and ate that and they said it was good, then I would try it. I would try it for curiosity's sake because you only live once, and I would let you guys know how it is. I don't know how I feel about bee larvae. I tried silkworm pupae. Silkworm pupae. It's called bundagi in Korean. Oh gosh, it was like one of the worst things I ever ate in my life. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was they didn't even prepare it right. They just like plopped it out of a can. They didn't fry it. They didn't see it. They just plopped it out of a can, plopped it onto a plate, and it's like all slimy and mush. It was gross. And then when you bite into it, you can feel the guts growing. Oh, yeah. But anyway, if I could handle that, I'm sure I could handle um, larvae from a bee. I'm sure I could handle that. Assuming it's dead. Not if it was alive. I'd probably freak out if it was alive. Just because I'm squeamish on that. Oh gosh, yeah. I don't know about bee larvae, but I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to try it if it was dead. If it was moving, no. 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 I think I'd freak out. I'd be like, this thing is moving. Ah. Yeah. I don't know if I know they cap the honey, but I don't know if it's separate or the same. I don't know that much about beekeeping. Yeah, I was watching this video yesterday about this guy. He had to eradicate a comb because he thought his bees got hybridized or mixed in with the Africanized honeybees. So he got rid of the whole hive, and it was really sad. You could see how heartbreaking it was, but these bees were so wild and so aggressive that they were just like swarming him. So I understand why it happened, but I felt so bad for that beekeeper when I watched the video. Yeah, I mean, the American honeybee is, they're really they're not friendly, but like if they bump into you, they won't sting you. But these like Africanized honeybees, like the aggressive ones, like they see you coming nearby, they can swarm you, they'll kill you. They will kill you. They don't even like bump into you kind of thing. They just, yeah. So I feel bad when I hear about, these little honeybees getting taken over by these aggressive bees. Oh gosh. Biting them, they must pop. Yeah, you're right, Amber. They probably do pop when you bite into those honeybees, but I don't want to think about it. It sounds so gross. Oh, so it's the person who had bundagi and that popped. Yeah, yeah. It's just. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, the behavior is dominant. So if they interbreed, you get killer bees. Yeah. So that's the reason why the beekeeper said that he eradicated the whole hive, and it was sad. You could see that he wanted to salvage it. He took out the queen, but he said it was just so risky with the bees. Maybe the drones would go out and mate with another bee, and then just like encourage killer bees from going out. So, yeah. I felt, yeah. And the worst thing too is that when he went to euthanize the bees, I would think that you would just put a plastic bag over it, but he used some soapy water. I think the way to go is just, put a plastic bag over him, let it suffocate. I know this sounds terrible to me, right? But let it suffocate so that way you can at least harvest the honey. But yeah, instead he just put soapy water all over it, and then he damaged the honey as well. You can't salvage the honey once you put soapy water on there. Yeah, for beekeepers, I respect them a lot. They get stung. They do a lot for agriculture. The bees do so much, and that's why I'm big on saving the bees. Save the bees. Make sure that bee populations aren't getting eradicated, or do bee friendly things. I remember I heard that they said if you have a garden, make sure you plant flowers so that way the bees hang around. Make sure you have like a pan of waters with like some marbles inside so the bees can drink water from it. And I think it's always nice to be mindful towards the bees. Yeah. What? Vladimir had a condiment made out of dried ants? I didn't know the Japanese people ate ants. I had no idea. Oh, that reminds me. Before I forget, I want to do this a lot sooner, but I forgot. If Joe is watching, Joe B, I just want to say thank you so much for sending the kitty litter. So he had sent over kitty litter for the cats, and I'm sure the cats will really appreciate it. I wanted to do it sooner in my stream, but then I got distracted by all this chat, and yeah. But I just want to say thank you, and I'm gonna be sending out a thank you note. I've actually updated the kitty wish list because we were getting overrun with catnip mice, and I felt like it was just so many catnip mice. I wanted to change it up a bit, so I added stuff to the kitty wish list. What's the discussion on bees? Well, I was just talking about, oh gosh, this is like one of those things where I wanted to make a really short video and then it turns into a freaking 3-hour video, and someone's gonna look at this and be like, I thought you were talking about pearls, what happened? The discussion about bees, where we were just talking about killer bees and honeycomb and all sorts of things. People were sharing about eating honey larvae, bee larvae, and honey. That's what beekeepers do. I cannot confirm that, but I have never seen that for sale. I've never heard about that. I'm kind of curious to see if I'll see that on YouTube. Eating artisanal bee larvae from honey, from a honeycomb. I don't know. I know, I really should change it, Yeah, we're overrun with catnip mice. We have so much catnip mice. I'm kind of wondering, like, when I look around the apartment, I'm like, okay, more mice. It's turned into like a swarm of catnip mice. I think we have something like 12 catnip mice around the apartment right now. I mean, the cats love it, don't get me wrong, they really love it, but yeah, I just think you guys need new toys. Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know how people do it. Like, they just stick to one topic. But whenever I do these live streams, then I talk to you guys, and then you guys share things, and it just kind of goes like on and on and on and on and on. I know Lewis was popping in here earlier. I think he's probably gone right now, but yeah, it was just like a stream of stuff. I feel like these videos are kind of turning into like the Eli videos. When Eli does his daily blob and he talks about all this stuff. But you know what the difference between my videos and Eli's videos is? I'm not going to talk about things and rub my chest like Eli does. Yeah. Like Eli, sometimes I tune into this stuff and I'm like, what is Eli doing on stream? Yeah. You guys might know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I have 36 viewers right now. Yeah. But Oreo likes watching Eli videos. He actually does watch Eli videos. Admittingly, he does fall asleep during a lot of Eli videos, but I think it's because Eli's a very calming presence. Oreo's probably sleeping in the closet right now. I don't play my videos back for Oreo. I'm not that narcissistic. I'm not gonna be like, Oreo, watch this great video of me talking about for like 3 hours. No, I don't do that to Oreo Cat. Yeah, but yeah, when I watch some of the Eli videos, he talks about all sorts of things. Yeah, the pearl discretion was like up in the front, way back where, and then the conversation just started. And in case anybody is wondering why I look so sweaty, it's because it was really humid today. I was gonna take a shower, but then I figured, hey, I want to show this to you guys off. Unfortunately, it was like a sauna in here earlier. It's cooler, but you can see the remnants of the sauna manifest itself in my hair and my skin. But that's the way life is, right? Sometimes you don't look picture perfect all the time, and that's okay. What does he do? You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Like when he watches Lewis's video, he's just kind of like, I think because he lives with him, so he doesn't have that same reaction. You know, when he sees Eli's video, Eli's a lot more animated sometimes. He talks about like all these kind of boys. He's like blah 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 like that, and it's more exciting in terms of like vocal intonations. And he does these like hand gestures and things like that, and he rubs his chest. And I think Oriel likes that a bit more as a viewer. Yeah, the pearls were in the beginning, so if you rewatch your stream, you'll see it in the beginning. But long story short, what I was talking about is, because I'm just fiddling around with this thing, I was talking about how if you look at pearls, you can kind of see that it has, you can't see it over here, but you can kind of see it has like different color variations to it and different size variations. See, like this pearl over here, this one's a little smaller than that one. That's an indicator that it's a real pearl necklace. Now, the top quality pearls, they're gonna be kind of all uniform sizes, but they tend to be really pricey. I'm not a I'm not a very expensive person, so I'm just like, hey, if it looks a little off, then that's good enough for me. I rather have a real pearl that's a little imperfect than having a fake pearl that has complete standardization. This is a fake pearl, by the way. You can see better pictures earlier in the stream. It looks so unnatural. It just looks so unnatural. And this is, I don't know if this is really a Majorca necklace. I got my doubts on it. I think it was just an imitation, and maybe they just said it was Majorca. Majorca is like one of the top brand of imitation pearls. But yeah, it's all like one flat color, and it's all the same size pearl. It all has the same sheen. There's no variation in it, and that's how you can tell it's a fake pearl. Yeah, see? So if you compare this versus, let me pull this up, versus this, you can, whoops, you can see how this one looks more authentic than this one. See, like this one is like unnaturally the same size and sheen. That's what I was getting at. And this is like trash pearl right here, but I like the trash pearls. So yeah, I think the pearls were a win. I think Greg earlier in chat said that he says that he thinks that these pearls are gonna crap out on me, or they're gonna start chipping or something like that, or melting away because of oils and stuff. But these were only $23, so I'm willing to take that risk. I hope it lasts me for many years. I'm planning to restring these pearls myself. I heard if you own pearls, you're supposed to get them restrung about once every year, or once every 2 years. And you know how much it costs to get these things restrung? Every inch is like $1.50 to get it done, and this is like 19 inches. So for me to get this restrung at a place is going to cost me more than the actual pearl necklace itself. And I do not want to spend that much money on pearl, like ongoing maintenance for my pearls. So I'm thinking about restringing them myself. There are some YouTube videos and making it a learning a skill, learning a skill of how to do this myself, right? To repair pearl necklaces. Yeah, but it is yeah, it's just maintenance. I hope that it lasts. I hope the single strand, if possible, lasts me for 30, 40 years. Yeah, and I think I can age with it. Right now I'm 32. I think I can wear this when I'm in my 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Maybe I'll make it to 90 or 100. Who knows? Yeah, you're right, Amber. So the one way you can test pearls out and see how if they're real or not is you rub them against your teeth, like your front teeth. Don't do it on camera, okay? That's not classy. But you rub it against your front teeth. If it is unnaturally smooth, like yeah, if it's smooth, then it's a fake pearl. If it's kind of gritty, then it's a real pearl. So this one's gritty, this one's smooth, but I knew this was fake from the get-go. And between these two necklaces, this one's heavier than this one. So real pearls have weight on them, and they also have they not only have weight on them, they also feel cooler. So if you put them against your cheek or something, they feel kind of slightly cold. Don't and that's if they're just sitting around for like maybe about 10 to 15 minutes, so that way they cool off a bit. But plastic ones just feel like plastic. You can kind of tell. Yeah. So I am going to, in the future, I don't know if I'm going to be buying more pearl stuff. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I do plan on buying them all secondhands. I don't want to contribute to buying new pearls, and you know what I'm saying? Like there's so much pearl necklaces out there and so much pearl jewelry out there that need homes. So I rather do that and give money to people who are looking to sell the jewelry, and they can get money and I can save money, and I think it's a win-win situation. So that's why I'm a big fan of buying pre-owned jewelry. I don't see anything wrong with it. If it's not being used, then it's just going to be sitting in a closet. And if I buy a piece, I have every intention to wear it for quite some time. Hey, hey. Ah, look who's home. So I will talk to you guys later. And I didn't make dinner yet. Oops. So.
You done your stream because of me, Coco?
Huh? I didn't make dinner for you. I got caught up talking to chat.
You have so many adoring fans, Erica. Don't let your
What do you
adoring fans
mean?
down.
I got like 41 viewers. How much viewers do you have at
You
any
look
given
pretty
time?
today.
Aw, thank you. I gotta show you. Did you see my pearl stream? I'll show you the difference between this one and this one.
Which one will you get robbed faster in East New York?
Which one are you better able
Aren't
to
there
protect me
22
from?
shootings over the past 2 days in the 1 mile radius?
There were.
Enjoy your pearls.
What? Wait, you took martial arts lessons. You took martial arts lessons, by the way. Did you know that?
Yeah, if anybody tries to steal Ruby Lewis's pearls, I will kill them.
How about my pearls?
Oreo, go. Protect your woman.
What?
Oreo, you have a job to do.
Are you kidding me?
Protect this woman's honor, Oreo.
Someone's gonna kidnap Oreo. You know, he was taking martial arts lessons, so I tell him, I said, you better be able to protect me. With all your martial arts lessons you were taking from your Sifu. But nah, I'm not gonna do that. Most likely you're only gonna see me wear this stuff on stream. Maybe if I go, maybe if I hope the right to repair hearings starts up again. I probably will wear, the fake one with me or so when we go traveling. I don't really want to bring the real one with me because TSA and things like that. It's just, yeah, no. People actually carry fake jewelry on them and fake pearls on them just for traveling. And I think it's a really smart thing, because if you go traveling and someone robs you for your jewelry, you know that they're taking the fake stuff. I don't want to give anyone the the opportunity or the satisfaction of taking something that's real. So yeah, but if I'm on stream, I don't mind wearing the nicer one. Yeah, but the nicer one, keep in mind, the nicer one was $23. The fake one was $15. In hindsight, this is definitely the better investment. But for traveling, this one's handy. I don't know when the next house hunt is gonna be. It's really hot right now. Lewis went to work today, so he's kind of busy with that. We went house hunting yesterday, and that was pretty good. But I was telling him, I was saying, hey, you got to be kind of careful because we saw an article online and they were saying like 22 people got killed or shot. Being in New York City, and really not a good thing to be out around the city, especially when the sun goes down. You know, there's no Batman to save us. So, yeah. Yeah, this one, I don't know how long it's gonna last. If you look really closely, this thing, I don't see any chip on here, but I think I thought I saw a scratch here somewhere, but I can't remember where. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but whatever. Maybe if I see a better quality imitation, I might buy it and then do a stream on that. And yeah, I will always be a supporter of, you know, buy pre-owned jewelry. You get a much better price for it, and in my opinion, it's more it's a lot more eco-friendly than buying new, because you're giving pearls that, like I said, would have sat in the closet a new home and a new chance of being cherished. Or jewelry in itself. Depreciation cost of jewelry is crazy. I don't believe in buying new jewelry just because I don't want to be the one taking the depreciation hit. I know myself way too well. Let's say if I bought something at a jewelry store, right? Am I gonna sell it? No. I know I'm not gonna sell it. It's gonna lose value, and if I'm not planning to sell it, why do I want to take that depreciation hit? I feel more comfortable having someone else take the depreciation hit, and then I just, you know, take care of it afterwards. I have no problem. I know some people will be kind of squeamish. They'll be like, oh, I don't want to wear like used jewelry or anything like that. I'm like, I don't care, you know, I don't really care at all. You go to a restaurant, you're eating from used plates, you're drinking from a used cup. It's just washed, and you can wash this stuff, or you can try to sanitize this stuff. Why am I always here when Lewis comes home? Yeah, I like the pearl stuff because I feel like it's timeless, and I wanted pieces where it wasn't so dated. Like sometimes when you see jewelry, you know how you can kind of tell like it's old jewelry, like if it's a precious metal jewelry, and I think like less people wear pearls, so that's why I wanted to wear pearls. And yeah, I've also liked the idea that, you know, these are made, this is something beautiful that comes from the inside. So I've always believed strongly in inner beauty and things like that. So yeah, if you see a pearl, it came from the inside. So the inside counts. But I do recognize that pearls are, you know, it comes from an oyster. It's definitely not vegan at all. And if you do want to minimize your impact on oysters, you can just buy an imitation one, or you can buy a pre-owned one, and that's the choice that I've chosen to do. I don't like the idea of buying new and then knowing that a pearl or like an oyster died for every single pearl. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like some of these. Oreo, do not go near these imitation pearls of the real pearls. I don't want him to chew on it or anything like that. But yeah. Look at my little man. Oh, look at you. No, Oreo, don't mark my jewelry. I think he wants to mark it. I think he really wants to mark it. No. He sees an opportunity. He's like, this is something new. I'm gonna nuzzle it. Oh no. It's because I'm scrolling downwards. Can you teach Oreo to detect real pearls? I don't think so. He's not gonna be good to have Oreo as a Oh, look at my handsome man. What up? Hello? He's so cute. Yeah, so I really, I think he's so cute. Can I get a smaller strand for Oreo to wear as a collar? Let me see. Let's see. Actually, Oreo, you can wear this. Oreo, I don't think it has the same effect on him though. Look at this. Oh crap. Yeah, I don't think it has the same effect on him. I know, he's so cute. Look at that guy. I know. That's what Oreo wants me to do. He just secretly wants me to give him food. So, we will see how this thing goes. I was thinking, where's that cheapy necklace? I have it around my neck. I wonder what Lewis is doing. I think Lewis is making food, but I'm not too sure. He's running the water, though, that's for sure. Hold on. Oh, Oreo thinks it's food time, so I will talk to you guys later. It seems like he is food driven. He's like, you haven't fed me in a couple hours, so I will talk to you guys later. You guys take care, and yeah, I hope you guys learned something about pearls. I don't know if you guys intended to. I know most of my audience, I feel like 95% of you guys are males, and although this might not be handy for you, keep in mind, if you know someone who wants to, I think a really good gift would actually be buying a pearl necklace for a woman, because she could grow into it. You don't have to worry about her saying, oh yeah, it's like fad jewelry, or it's not that cute. But yeah, this is something like she could wear in her, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. But you have to kind of try to make sure that you buy the right size, because if you don't, like this one looks fine on me. You could see it early in the stream, but this one looks kind of weird on me because it's a little too small, millimeter wise. I don't know what the millimeter size of the pearls are. I haven't measured, but this one just looks a little small on my neck. See, like this one versus this one. See, like this one looks like a much better size. And then this one's like that really cheapy set one. But I like the cheapy set one. Maybe it's because I'm secretly always looking for a bargain, so I like it. So I will talk to you guys later. Gotta make dinner. See ya.